In this video, we'll be talking about Amazon FBA reimbursements. So something what every private label Amazon seller could get if they know how to do it. So they can get money back from Amazon. Amazon owes you money, and there are a lot of different situations and accidents and incidents when Amazon will not tell you that they owe you money. And we will talk a lot about this in this session. It will be a full-length 3-hour webinar with Getida. It's the leading company which helps with auditing your Amazon seller account and getting money back from Amazon. And they recover thousands and thousands of dollars and increase the cash flow of Amazon businesses. And during this session, you will meet Getida experts. You can ask anything about what is related to increasing your profits and getting much more cash flow in your business. And we also will have some giveaways, so stay tuned with us. And I'm glad to invite first Lisette. She is working with different Amazon businesses, and she will be co-hosting this event with me. Hi, Lisette.
Hi, Augustus, and hi, everybody else as well watching us today. Really excited about today's workshop to learn more about Amazon reimbursements. And we do have awesome people from Getida here as well to share the knowledge. So yeah, happy to bring everyone to the stage.
So YONI, he is probably the most visible face of Getida. So please introduce Getida and your team.
Yeah, so hi Augustus, hi Lizette, nice to see you again, and thank you so much for having us today. I have my teammates with me today. I have Rob Stanley, he's our Chief Marketing Officer. He's in California. There you go. And also known as the Money Man. If you ever come to the shows, if you go to the Prosper Show or any other industry events, you might see the Money Man. That's Rob Stanley. And then we have Lisa Kinsky. She's our a marketing and partnership manager. And for myself, I'm Yoni MAZOR. I'm one of the co-founders of Getida and the chief growth officer.
Perfect. And so we will have three or four parts in this webinar. So Yoni, could you give us a little bit a breakdown, very short, one sentence, what we will be covering in each part?
You got it. So, yeah, like I mentioned, 4 parts. The first part, the first hour, when you guys are still fresh, is gonna be the heaviest, and we're gonna basically try to give you as much information as possible to know how to basically do your own actions when it comes to FBA auditing and reimbursements. You'll be able to take actions to get money back that is owed to you. High level, you're gonna be able to go back 18 months and work with all the data and find the issues and take care of them. That's gonna be mostly in the first part. A lot of heavy lifting there. So right after that first part, we're gonna have a few surprises for you to refresh everything. Maybe if Augustus wants to mention more about this, he can. Second part will be about more how to kind of, structure your Amazon business so it's saving costs and making more money, right? And the third part will be a demo, and you'll be able to see how our platform works if anybody's interested. And the fourth part, and plus we're gonna have a few guests, special surprise guests, some VIP people from the industry. And the fourth part is really all yours. If you have any questions, answers, idea, thoughts, you just want to party online, feel free to join us at the Q&A session.
Perfect. And I wanted to mention that Getida can help you to get money back from Amazon. And you can find the link below in the description. Also, I can show you a banner here as well. So if you follow this link, getida.com/Klik, Klik, you can get $400 of free reimbursements. Getida will not charge you, and will get you $400 from your account. So find the link below, and you can follow to this landing page, which you see on the screen. And we will also, during this session, we'll have a few giveaways. Some of them will be 1,000 of free reimbursements. So a couple of people will be able to win that. And we'll have a few trivias where you can win $150 Amazon gift cards. And so please stay with us. Ask questions, because the $1,000 free reimbursements we will be giving to the most active ones, which are asking questions related to what Getida's team will be presenting. And before we move on to the part one, let's watch a very short clip of Getida. It's just 15 seconds, and then we will be ready with the part one, where you will learn everything about Amazon reimbursements and where and how you are losing money if you don't take care of them.
Oh, I know you're gonna do that. It's contagious. I know. Okay, good.
Yeah, cool. All right. So we have already the slides on activated.
All right, so we're gonna have EYTAN join us soon. I think he might be in the waiting room. Augustus, if you want to take a
Yeah, oh,
look.
yes. Yeah, by the way, EYTAN, I saw
Backstage,
him.
boom.
Yeah, he's waving like
There he is.
I think we will never start. We always something to talk about. So yeah,
Hey,
EYTAN,
Augustus.
hi.
How are you guys? Hey, everyone.
So EYTAN is the CEO of the company, right?
CEO, yeah, Chief
Yeah.
Executive
CEO.
Officer, yeah.
Perfect. All right, so we're ready with presentation, finally.
All right, guys. So yeah, that's our panel today. I think we set enough of that, but let's get working here. All right, Pi 1, introduction to FBA auditing and reimbursements. Before we get into it, a few more words about Getida, just to understand kind of what's going on. If you wondered how to say it, what's Getida? Is it Getida? Is it Getida? It doesn't really matter. It's an acronym. It stands for Get Idea, which is Get Intelligent Data Analytics. We like to see ourselves as a global leader in FBA auditing and reimbursements for the simple fact that we operate on a global level. So whether you sell on Amazon US, Canada, Mexico, EU, UK, we can help you with the auditing. We are an award-winning company. We won the Gold Award from your American Business Awards for our dashboard technology. We do have a dedicated team of claim specialists. A big part of them are former Amazon employees who used to work in the FBA reimbursements departments. And we track and monitor our recovery rate. It's over 75%. So for every 10 cases we open, more than 7 cases usually get paid. And then we take a lot of pride in hosting a lot of events, much like this one. So if you wonder what's our next event, you can always visit getida.com/events. And then we also have 2 podcast shows. One of them is Sellernomics, that is hosted by our CMO, Rob Stanley and Lisa Kinski. And the second one is Prime Talk, that is hosted by me and also Lisa Kinski. And then if you want, I do recommend checking out Augustus Kligis's episode. He was a guest at the show. So super amazing story about an entrepreneur and a digital marketer. So you guys should check it out. And also, we like to make our solutions affordable for sellers at any size and any stage. You might be a newbie just starting, or you could be doing hundreds of millions of dollars in FBA. It's very affordable to use Getida because it's free to join. It's free to stay. We only charge a fee based on performance. So feel free to join at any time, at any stage. Again, 1 second here. And let me move to the next slide. All right, there we go. I think it's working now. Very good. All right, so what's the agenda? What are discrepancies? Okay, or what are the FBA discrepancies? We're going to go over them very, very quickly. It's a big list, but we're going to focus on the ones that really are the most central ones. Okay, so you guys will have the ability to focus on them and take care of them. And also the second part will be how to find your discrepancies are Sell Essential, do's and not do's, what you recommend doing and what we recommend not doing, and also a little bit of the differences between US, or I would say North America, and EU reimbursements. Okay, the little different marketplaces, a few differences. We're gonna touch that on the agenda. So let's get started. 3 points I want to make on auditing. Okay, just so you guys understand. We find, with our data that the discrepancy rate on an annual basis could be 1 to 3% from your revenue. So you're sitting here, you sell on Amazon, you're an FBA seller, and you're thinking, how much money can I make with this? How much money can I get with auditing? So it's very simple. Whatever your numbers are, let's say you're doing 100,000 a year in FBA sales, 1 to 3% could be $1,000 to $3,000 that is probably owed to you. And you're gonna have to take actions to get that money back. If you're doing $1 million a year, it could be 10 to 30,000. If you're doing 100 million a year, it could be 1 to 3 million. So whatever your numbers are, that's one way to think about it. Another way to think about it is like this: every 100 units you ship to Amazon's fulfillment centers, 1 to 3 units will have an issue. It might get lost, damaged, destroyed, disappear, disposed, overcharged with fees. We'll touch much more of that later, but this is the scope. Okay, this is the scope of the problem. That is the problem, and that's the scope of the problem. High level, Amazon allows up to 18 months on most issues. We're going to do the breakdown to look back and get your money. If beyond the time limitations that are available, if you don't take or get your money on time, or the reimbursement on time, it expires. You're never going to get that. So do not miss out. In other words, you are in a race against time. Right. So the first step here is to understand the size of the problem and what it is. and understanding that there's a time limit for it. And the third point I want to make is that, once you do find the issue and you open cases with Amazon, don't think that the job is finished. You're going to have to pay attention to the case. And of course, if Amazon needs more documentation, more information, make sure to provide it to them. Okay, so you address it and really get the cases resolved. So these are kind of 3 high-level points I want to make before we jump into further things. All right, so if you ever wonder why you might need help with auditing, okay, I'll have a look. This is kind of the list of everything. We're not going to touch everything because we have a limited amount of time. We're going to touch the main things. So if this is foreign to you, looks very unfamiliar, it probably means you're leaving money behind. So if and because of that, I do recommend, don't worry, there's solutions out there that can help with this. We happen to be one of them, Getida. So if you ever want to help, we'll be happy to help you. But this is kind of more of a full list for your attention. So that's that. All right, let's get started. Here are the main ones that we're going to focus today and kind of teach you how to do it and make you understand how to do it so you can take actions on yourself. So this is the recovery overview. So we're going to touch today FBA inbound shipments. Okay, this is the basic of all basics. Most sellers usually understand what needs to be done with this. So this is when you ship your products to FBA. Let's say you ship 1,000 units. Amazon, instead of receiving 1,000 units, they're only receiving 190. So 10 units are missing. You got to find that. Okay, but once the inventory or the shipment got delivered, you have 9 months to reconcile. After 9 months, your eligibility to get paid a reimbursement expires. Okay, this is in the US or North America. In UK and EU, it's limited to 6 months. So if you're watching this and you were selling these markets, just you have 6 months here, you got 9 months over there. Okay, we're gonna go over this more in depth very soon. These are a few more issues we're gonna go over. Lost or damaged units. Okay, you got 18 months to look back. You got FBA customer refunds. Again, you got 18 months to look at that. Any issues with the refunds, right? With the returns. FBA removal orders. That's when you take your inventory out of Amazon. So for these buckets, you got about 18 months to look back. Okay, if we look back today, you go back 18 months. It's almost 2 years. It's pretty good. I do want to make sure you guys understand what these elements mean. It means that once your inventory got received in FBA, right? Let's say when it got received, there's already discrepancies. Some units are missing. You resolve that. That's great. But once your units are inside Amazon's fulfillment center, inside, they tend to get lost or damaged. Okay. Also between the centers, sometimes Amazon might transfer your products from Kentucky to California to Nevada, right? Same things happen. There's lost and damaged units can happen there. Of course, from Amazon's fulfillment center to the consumer, when the orders come in, these same elements happen. On the customer refunds, when they send it back from the consumer to Amazon, the same things happen. And also from Amazon back to you with the removal orders. So for these buckets, you got 18 months, and that's kind of the dynamic of what happens. And then for weight and dimension issues, you got 3 months to get your money. Weight and dimension issues is where Amazon has the incorrect data of the weight and dimension of your product. So they think it's larger and heavier than it actually is. And because of that, they're overcharging you with fees. You got to discover that. You got to take care of it. But you can only get money for the past 90 days. So if you only do it, let's say once a year, and Amazon, let's say, charge you $10,000 for the year, but $3,000 in the past 3 months, you're gonna get $3,000 back. $7,000 for the rest of the year, boom, is gonna be not eligible. So make sure you do it every 3 months. So that's a high-level overview. Let's get started so we can do one by one. All right, so here's the first step, guys. This is how you reconcile all your FBA inbound shipments. All right, so what you do, you visit Amazon Sell Essential, click on Inventory, you go all the way down to Manage FBA Shipments. Okay, and then once you're there, you're gonna scroll down and see, you're gonna kind of look for the issues, right? So when you scroll down, you'll see that this is the mapping. It tells you these are the units expected and these are the units received. So over here, you see that 10 units shipped and then 10 units got received. It's all good, no problem. So you keep scrolling down until you find a problem. So this is typically how the problem looks like. Okay, boom, needs attention. You ship 216 units and Amazon received 0 units and status is closed, meaning it got fully received, right? So it's closed. Because other ones, I want to go back so you guys understand. When it's in transit receiving, meaning it's not a game over yet. But when it's closed, it means here it's closed, 7 out of 7. But over here you have 216 and 0, boom, and it's closed. It needs attention. So all you got to do is click this blue area here. So it goes inside the shipment. And inside the shipment, you'll be able to see this. Okay, you're going to see the SKU, right? You're going to see the title information here. But then you'll see that, right? So the discrepancy minus 216, all in red. So you have this drop-down menu. What you want to do is, choose this option, research missing units. Okay, that's kind of the first thing you do. And then Amazon might require you to provide additional information or documentation. Okay, it can be a POD, which is a proof of delivery, and you got to choose and upload it there, right? Or the third option, or the second type of document will be a POP, which is proof of purchase. Okay, you just be able to choose the file and upload it over there. So let's go over it a little bit more in depth. What is the difference between POD or POP, right? So I'm gonna basically try to translate Amazon's language into English, even though it's in English, so you understand what they really want from you. So POD, proof of delivery, for LTL or FTL shipments, a bill of lading showing the number of boxes in the shipment and the total weight when it was picked up by the carrier. The document must be stamped by Amazon confirming that the shipment was received and signed at the fulfillment center. Your carrier should have a copy of this document. This information helps verify that the entire shipment was picked up and shipped as expected. In other words, a POD is a stamped BOL, a bill of lading, when it has a stamp that Amazon, it received it and has the Amazon kind of smiley and logo on it. That's what Amazon means when it needs a POD, a proof of delivery. Okay, and a POP is this. Amazon requires the following documents submitted. Okay, POP is proof of inventory ownership or proof of purchase. POP. So proof of inventory ownership or proof of purchase will help identify any potential discrepancies that may have occurred. Some example of acceptable documents are an invoice from a supplier. That's the first option. Second option is receipt from another seller. Okay, so it's pretty much like an invoice, but it's a receipt, and it could be like if you, let's say you bought the inventory on Target or Costco, or if you're in Europe, maybe Carrefour. Trying to be global here or universal. All right, so or a signed packing slip if you're the manufacturer. Okay, so the following information must be provided on the packing slip, which is a date of purchase or a product name matching the missing products or quantity. Okay, here's a little tip if you're providing an invoice. This is from Amazon's platform. They're saying if you provided a receipt or an invoice as a proof of inventory ownership, the price you paid for the items is not required and may be hidden or obscured. So if you're worried about your pricing showing to Amazon, they're telling you on the invoice you can hide it. It's all good. But high level for POP, just to make it simple, for proof of purchase, it's either an invoice / receipt that you bought it from somewhere, from a supplier or a store. But if you are the manufacturer, which means that you basically are a private label seller and you have brand registry, so instead of an invoice, you don't have to give them an invoice at all. Instead of an invoice, you can give them a packing slip. The packing slip is a very simple document. Basically, it acts as a declaration of ownership. It will have your company information, your company's address, and everything. And then inside, it will say these are the units, and I shipped them, and this is the quantity that I shipped, and here's my signature. That's basically a packing slip. Okay, and you'll be able to send that to Amazon, and they'll be able to reconcile the shipment. Okay, this is high-level explanation of, or more in-depth explanation about POD or POP. If you want to learn more, just you can scan this 2D barcode and find Amazon's policy on Sell Essential. You'll be able to find all this information and beyond. We're trying to make it all simple for you guys, so you'll be able to take actions very quickly and easily instead of really trying to make sense of it all. Okay. Now that we finished with reconciling the FBA shipments, right? This is when you ship your products to Amazon. We took care of that. You know how to audit it. You know how to find it. You know how to reconcile it. You understand the documents that are needed. All good. All right. The second type of issue that you can start reconciling for, this is the FBA loss and damage units. I want to remind you guys, after Amazon receives your inventory, they're going to store it in their fulfillment centers. Inside the centers, that's where your units get lost or damaged, and you're able to go back 18 months on all these issues. Okay, so this is from Amazon Sell Essential. Amazon explaining to you the policies, how it all works, and what is the logic when you need to. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you guys the logic of how it all works, because if you understand the logic, you'll be able to take care of it, and no problem. I'm not gonna show you all how to use Excel. I'm assuming anybody that is gonna try to do this is very good with Excel, is very good with analytics and data processing and manipulation. That's my base assumption. If you're not good with that, give it to your VA. They should be good with it. If they're not, just reach out to solutions out there so they can do it the right way. By the way, if you want to see this exact policy and more, once again, you have this 2D barcode. You'll be able to find Amazon's instructions on Sell Essential. All right, so let's start reading into this and start learning what they're saying here, Amazon. So this is what they're telling you. Claim window. You must submit your claim no later than 18 months after the date that the item was reported as lost or damaged in your inventory adjustment report. Claims submitted outside this window are not eligible for reimbursement. So they're telling you this is your claim window. It's pretty simple. But they're telling you, look, before you submit your claim, this is what you need to do, these actions. And after you did these actions, if it's all good, then you can submit your claims. So let's go over these actions because I want to understand the logic. I want to explain to you the logic. So the first report you need is inventory adjustment report. In this report, you can be able to filter all the noise and focus on the date and adjustment code for the lost or damaged unit. To make it simple, I'm going to basically focus on loss. So in this report, you're going to manipulate everything, you're going to filter everything, and only keep the units that got lost. Okay, so you find the issue, you found all the units that got lost in this report. That's the first layer of the logic. The second layer is this. They're telling you now download this report. And by the way, all these reports, you got to download them for the past 18 months. Don't forget, when you download it, go make sure they're 18 months old. Okay, so in this report, manage FBA inventory report, you need to make sure that if the unit got lost, check it if it got found. If it got found, you stop. You don't submit a claim. But if it never got found, then you continue to the next report. So once again, first report, your unit got lost. Second report, it was never found, so it's still lost. You check the third report. The third report is reimbursement report to see if it already got reimbursed, already got paid. And if it got paid, you do not submit a claim. Okay, if it didn't get paid, then you're good. Then you can submit your claim. So once again, here's the logic. Unit got lost. Unit never got found. Unit never got reimbursed. Submit your claim. That's kind of the high level logic. You're going to go into the Excel files, find all the data, and filter it until you're going to run this process. Once again, you got in every report, you're going to go back 18 months. This is how it all works for reconciling all loss and damage units. Okay, guys. By the way, Amazon because I know this sounded a little bit more, let's call it complicated and crazy. So it kind of is. You gotta do a lot of processing. The next thing I want to show you here is that Amazon created modules for you on Sell Essential, where if you're not really 100% sure if you should submit a claim or not, you can just take the transaction ID on the report, right? And just and you click it here, and then you'll be able to see if it got lost, if you're eligible for reimbursement or not. Okay, so find eligibility, reimbursement, or replacement status for your damage loss in the warehouse. So if you want to find this page in this tool, this instrument, you can just scan this 2D barcode and get to work. Once again, you're gonna have to still go back and download this file, inventory adjustment file. So instead of going with all these reports, you can just download this file, inventory adjustment reports, find all the lost or damaged units, and run it with Amazon's tools here. Okay. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys to do it as a shortcut. All right. So now let's do this. This is where all the fun stuff happens, right? When basically all the issues with the refunds or customer returns. This is the logic that I want to explain to you how it all works, but high level, simple explanation of the issue. The issue is with returns. The refunds is that somebody buy your product, your inventory, and then they reach out to Amazon, and Amazon gave them a refund. They're supposed to send that product back to Amazon, so to bring it back to your inventory. But what happens if it never reaches back to your inventory, right? So it never got returned. In other words, we call this R&R, refunded, but not returned. So your unit is basically gone because it's with it's not in your inventory and it got refunded to the consumer. So you need to audit for that. You need to look for that. Okay. So this is how you kind of play with this. So you need to, the first report you need to download is called the payment report. So you're going to visit Sell Essential. You're going to visit, we're going to show you a visual how it all looks like if you're not good with all the words. But you look at reports, you go to payments, data range reports, click on generate report, choose transaction option, custom, and past 18 months. In other words, this is how you get the payment reports for the past 18 months. The payment report basically is, you'll be able to find all the FBA refunds. So all the FBA orders that got refunded, okay? You can find it there. That's the first report. That's the first data point that you need to find. All right. So once you have that data point, you need to find, you need to grab another report and see what's going on. So this is the report. It's called FBA Customer Returns Report. So you visit Sell Essential, you go to Reports, Fulfillment, FBA Customer Returns. Okay. You download it for the past 18 months. So it matches the payment report. So these two reports are 18 months old. Okay. And this is what you need to do. You need to compare all the FBA order IDs, okay, all the order ID refunds to FBA returns, okay? FBA order ID, they got a refund that is in report 1, which is in here, this report, but is not in report 2, right? All the customer returns report, and the issue is more than 45 days old, okay, it means that you got a refunded but not returned issue. So in other words, it's eligible for a claim, all right? So in the first report, you find all the refunds. And the second report, you find all the refunds that the units returned to Amazon's fulfillment center. So if the unit never returned back to the fulfillment center, more than 45 days already passed, it means you have this issue. You're eligible for a claim. So you open a claim, and Amazon will investigate. And for some reason, it found it, or there's another explanation they'll tell you. But if not, and you're eligible for reimbursement, they're gonna give you a reimbursement. So this is how you reconcile all the FBA refunds and returns that never, we had an issue with. Okay, and now I'm gonna show you the visuals of how it looks like when you do it on Seller Central to grab all the reports. So this is the payment report. This is how you grab it. Okay, you just visit the Seller Central reports payments. You click here day range reports, and you click on generate report, and it will open this kind of box here. Make sure you choose transaction, and then custom, and make sure you get the past 18 months. So for example, 18 months, so this is January 1st, 2021, and this is July 1st, 2022. That's about 18 months, I believe. And boom, you click generate. In this report, you're going to filter, and you're going to focus on all the FBA order IDs that got refunded. Okay. And this is how you grab the second type of report, which is the FBA customer returns report. So you visit Sell Essential, you see reports, fulfillment. So it looks like this here. It's enlarged like a magnifying glass. So you click on fulfillment. It's all good. And then on the left side here, it's kind of small. So we enlarge it. You'll see that customer concessions, FBA customer returns. Okay, just high level so you guys know. Reports, fulfillment. These are all the reports that are related to like FBA stuff, fulfilled by Amazon. There's a lot going on over there. You should probably be familiar with it, but this one is pretty important to do this exercise. So FBA customer returns, any FBA return that unit that got returned and reached the Amazon Fulfillment Center will be included here, will show up. So, and if it doesn't show up, but it still got refunded, that's when you have the issue. Okay, so I'm kind of trying to re-explain the logic again. And of course, when you grab this report, you click here. You got to make sure you choose the past 18 months, right? Don't forget that. And then you click on download, and that's how you have the file. So it's all good. All right, so before we move on to the next kind of thing, Augustus, we have any other questions, thoughts, ideas?
Actually, I wanted to jump in and say to everyone watching us right now and listening to you, if you enjoyed this content and you learn from YONI, then definitely hit like to this video and also subscribe to our YouTube channel to see videos like this in the future as well. And yeah, I think we can take a couple of questions actually right now as well. I know you like answering questions, so let's take two first ones. So Lion is asking, when they receive extra units, is it better to select extra units shipped or to research also?
Beautiful question. So if you know that you actually shipped extras, yes, tell them they're shipped extras, because if not, they might use it against you. Simple example. You shipped 2 shipments, right? One shipment, you shipped 100 units. The second shipment, you shipped 110 units, right? So the first shipment, the 100 units, they only received 90, so 10 units are missing. The other shipment, you told them you're shipping 100, but you actually shipped 110. If you don't tell them that you overshipped it, they're gonna say, "Oh, the missing 10 here is what got shipped over there, so it's all good." Because really, you shipped 210 units, right? That's what you shipped. But Amazon will say, "No, no. You only shipped 200 units, 10 extra 10 units for the other shipment, so it's 100 here, 110 here, 90 here, so it's 200." I hope the mathematics is not too confusing, but to make it simple, if you see that X units were shipped and you know that you shipped X units, tell them you did that so they don't use it against you in another shipment. Okay? So hopefully this helps out. It's a really brilliant question, by the way. Really good question.
Okay, thank you very much. And the next question will be also very interesting from Antonio. So he's asking, will Amazon reimburse found units that were lost after the expiration date, for example, for food products?
No, it's pretty straightforward. They have their policies. They created their own world and rules, and they follow their own rules. They're pretty they're pretty good about following the rules. Not only that they're good in following their own rules, they're very, very good at enforcing the rules on the seller community, which is what we all know, and that's what it is. So that's what we recommend: knowing the rules, knowing the time limits, and always staying active within those limits, so you always get the maximum impact and optimize your ability to perform well on the platform and not really lose out anything.
Okay, thank you so much, Eunice. So yeah, we can now continue with your presentation.
You got it. Okay, so FBA removal order reconciliation. Okay, these are issues when you basically try to remove or get your inventory back from Amazon. So if you never really thought about it, it's a good time to think about it, because issues can happen over there. Okay, so here's a few issues you should have in mind. Quantity of the units removed is lower than expected. So you told them, hey, I want to take back 100 units, right? They're fulfillable, unfulfilled, whatever the issue is. You told them, give me back 100 units. So you created this order of a removal order. Usually you get a removal order ID. Instead of getting 100 units, you only receive 99 units. You opened everything. You say, hey, I only got 99 units. You reach out to them. and you report it to them. So typically when you open a case for removal orders, what you want to do is send them an image of the shipping label, right? Or you get it in a box, it has a shipping label, you give them an image of that. Second thing, inside usually there's a packing slip, okay, there's a little piece of paper, take a picture of that, okay? Send that to them to show them that you got the box, you got the packing slip, but one unit is missing, you tell them which unit it is, okay? That's one thing that can happen. Second thing that can happen is missing packages, okay? They said, all right, we're going to ship you these 100 units, and it's going to come in 10 packages, okay, and you only receive 9 packages, okay, and the missing package might have a few units missing, whatever it is. So you basically reach out to them and tell them, one package is missing. They typically have the tracking numbers with the carriers. They'll be able to see it really never got delivered, it's stuck in transit forever, or whatever it is. You really never got your units back, and this can happen. So make sure you open the case and get the refund, because if you just make an order and you get all these packages back, you should check how many packages you basically expected, because you'll have a tracking ID for each package. So if you see like 20 package, 20 what's it called, tracking IDs, it means it's 20 packages, but you only got 19. Boom, you already know you have an issue. Because many times sellers just order all the units back. They don't really think how much units they order back and how many packages they expect, and then if things are missing, they never know. So better to know and to check to make sure everything's okay with it, because if not, you're eligible for a refund, and why not get it, right? Okay, wrong item sent back. So let's say, just to make it simple, you sent him an iPhone and you do a removal order. Instead of getting an iPhone back, you got a baseball. So you got the completely wrong item back. Amazon internally calls it switcheroo. So when you open a case for this, you can use the word switcheroo. Right away, they understand what's going on, what's happening, and they'll provide you with your reimbursement if it's eligible for one. Okay. And then missing parts. This is another interesting type of discrepancy or issue that there's eligibility to get reimbursement or refund. So you removed, let's say, for example, a gaming console from FBA. It can be an Xbox, or it can be a PlayStation, something like that. So you got the box, the packaging. Inside, you got the remotes, and you got all the cables and everything, but the actual console is missing. So that's eligible for a refund. You reach out to them, you tell them what's going on, and they'll give you a reimbursement refund. Or another example could be maybe you a box of jewelry. So it's a box and it has like bracelets and this and that, right? This is the product. It's like a surprise box with all this jewelry. Fine. You send it to them and they send it back to you, and it's missing a bunch of the bracelets, a bunch of the ring, whatever it is, missing parts. And because of that, you can't really sell it and make profit on this product. So you're basically experiencing an issue, a discrepancy. So that's eligible for reimbursement. So think about that also. When you if you have any kind of missing parts inside your product, make sure to take evidence of everything. I'll repeat. Make sure to take a picture of the shipping label on the box, the packing slip inside. If it's missing products or parts in the product, try to pick pictures of the parts you did get, and of course the parts that you didn't get will be pretty much evident, and submit it to them, and they'll take care of you. Okay, so these are more opportunities for removal orders if you want to reconcile them. Okay, so keep that in mind. Before I move next, let me see. Yeah, this is the next topic. Any questions on this?
Yeah, we can take a couple of questions more for you. So Daniela is asking, is it possible to claim reimbursements for FBA fees charged for orders refunded due to not being delivered in time by Amazon?
Yes, so it's a painful question. Unfortunately, not. In other words, she's asking, if I can explain. I ordered something on Amazon, excuse me, and it didn't come on time. So I reached out to Amazon. I said it missed the delivery date or it didn't come on time, and I got my refund. It's all good. And then you get the order back, you get the unit back, and you kind of miss the sale. But Amazon charge you all these fees to ship it out. Not only they charge you all these fees to ship it out, they also charge you They also charge you fulfillment fees to receive it back in. It's called the restocking fee and refund fee. Refund processing fee. There's two types of fees. So unfortunately, for this kind of issue, there's no eligibility for reimbursement. So I do apologize. It's a known subject. It's a painful one, but that's call it the cost of doing business on Amazon on FBA.
Okay, very good. So another one, if you didn't ship it, but they are claiming it is received, they may use it against you, against saying that they received these in place of the other units. A little bit complicated question, but let me know if you understood it.
Yeah, so he's touching what we discussed earlier. When you shipped extra units and they see that, tell me you shipped extra units, because if not, in a shipment that was missing units, they say, no, the missing units are over there. So we don't owe you anything. That is what they're talking about. So When you see any shipments that are missing, of course, tell them to research. But if you see any shipments that have extra units and you know you ship those, tell them that you ship those. And of course, if you didn't ship those, you see something's a little off, tell them to research. It's okay.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, let's continue.
All right, let's continue. Okay, tracking your weight and dimensions. All right, high level kind of points to make here. So this is what we call FBA fulfillment fee audits. Okay, and all other supply chain documentation. You have to understand that when Amazon charges you a fulfillment fee, and what's a fulfillment fee, right? So let's say the order comes in, Amazon will pick a unit from the bin. They're gonna package it in a box, and they're gonna ship it out. They charge a fee for that. It's called a fulfillment fee, and that fee is based on the weight and dimension of the product. So the heavier and bigger Amazon thinks the product is, the more they're going to charge you. Okay, so they're basically they're based on weight and dimensions, and they charge their fulfillment fees, also known as pick and pack fees, but they also it affects the storage fees and the long-term storage fees. So the larger and heavier Amazon thinks your product is, the more they're going to charge you in monthly storage fees and long-term storage fees. So you got to audit for that. And of course, if you find out that they have the wrong information, they're overcharging you, you got to open a case to do two things. The first thing you got to do is make sure to stop the bleeding, so they stop overcharging you, so they update the data and correct everything. And of course, the second thing is to go back 3 months or 90 days and get refunds for these overcharges. Okay. And the benefits of tracking this information are larger percentage of fulfillment costs are related to fees. We have a case study that the fulfillment fees were more than 12%. Some of them are more than 20%. So, in other words, from all the revenue you're generating on Amazon, it could be 10%, 12%, 20% or more just for these fees. Very, very heavy. So, if you reduce them, it's going to save you a lot of money. We're going to touch more about that later. We're going to have another case study for you. And also, once you're on this and you really focus on this and you have all the information available, being able to get reimbursed quickly once the error is found is very, very critical. So going forward, you fix it and they don't overcharge you, and you're able to get all the money from all the revenue you create and take that money and keep moving and and managing the business. Okay, so this is how you conduct the FBA fulfillment fee audit. Okay, these are the reports you got to look into. So the first report is the fee preview report. Okay, so you can visit Sell Essential, visit reports fulfillment fee preview. And the fee preview, you'll be able to see every ASIN and SKU, what is the winning dimensions they think are for the product. So if you download that report right away, see mistakes, there's an issue. That's one thing. And the second type of report is payment report. You just visit Sell Essential, reports, payments, date range reports, click on generate report, choose transaction option, custom, make sure past 3 months, because this issue is limited for only 90 days or 3 months of refund. So keep that in mind. So the report you take is 3 months. So here's what you do. You compare the above reports with your own file or report with the correct and exact winning dimensions per ASIN. In other words, if you are a private label seller, you should know this anyways because you created the product and the packaging with your factory. So you should be able to know your weight and dimensions for the product. Okay, so you should have it on an Excel sheet, and then you can compare it to the fee preview. But also you can also, if you find out that one of them is not incorrect and it's more than what it actually is, you go to the payment reports for the past 3 months, find that ASIN, and see how much they overcharge you. So if they're supposed to charge you $3 a unit, but they charge you $10 a unit, they overcharge you $7 per unit. And the past 7 months, you sold 1,000 units. You'll find in this report, it's $7,000 that you can get a refund for. So this is kind of the breakdown of the logic of how it all works. So once again, one report you find what Amazon has information of the fees. The other report is how much you actually overpaid for these fees, and you cross it all together to find the issue and find the mathematics and know how much they owe you, and open the case and present it to Amazon. Okay, this is how you grab the reports on Sell Essential. So if you guys need the guide here, so reports, fulfillment, right? So that's where you click. And then on the left side here, you have all the menu of things. You enlarge it again to focus. So you go to payments, fee preview. Okay. And then you request the download and we'll show you. We'll be able to basically download it. All right. So it looks like that over here. And that's how you get the fee preview report where you find all the ASINs and what is the fees that Amazon is expecting to charge you based on the winning dimensions. And this is the payment report, much like the first time we showed you earlier. Same idea. Go to payments, generate report, transactions. Here, just make sure you custom the 90 days. Okay, when you choose the dates, make sure 90 days. You can ignore this example. This is for the past 18 months. But what you want to do here is 90 days. Okay. Here's a quick summaries or recommendations of what you should do or should not do when managing all these cases and issues. So of course, like we mentioned, open cases in the timeline provided. We did have a question about this earlier on. If you do it outside the timeline provided, there's really no hope. So make sure you just be professional, do it on time. And of course, when you open cases, and Amazon needs more information, and they reply to you, and they're asking for more information. Yeah, just reply to it. Don't open a new case. In other words, you open a case, Amazon reply, they need something, you don't understand what's going on. You're like, let me just open a new case for the same thing. Not a good practice. Okay, so make sure just to reply to the same case. Okay, you come in, you see they need something, more information, reply. If you don't understand, tell them I don't understand. Or you even call them and say, this is regarding this case ID, please explain to me what's going on. This is how you do it like a professional. And like I said, stay professional. A lot of sellers get very emotional about this, and of course, it's very understandable why. Sometimes it could be a lot of money. It could be a few $100s, a few $1,000s, sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars of issues. It's very stressful because if they're not going to get that money, it really risks their business. It's going to be very hard for them to continue doing business, or they might have to shut down the business. But still, stay professional. Focus on the mathematics. Focus on the numbers. Focus on the policies, and that is the best way to kind of resolve these issues. And over here, these are things you should avoid and don't do. So don't open a case with Amazon prematurely. Okay, so really investigate and make sure you have all the information. Don't just open one report, see something got missing, and then just open a case, because you have other reports to see if it got found or if it got reimbursed. I showed you earlier, right? So if you don't, because if you do that and you open it prematurely, it's not going to reflect well on your account, and you're just going to be wasting your time and Amazon's time. Okay, so don't do that. Don't be pushy with Amazon seller support. Once again, it goes back to being emotional. Focus on the numbers, focus on the policies, say thank you, appreciate that they're trying to help. Sometimes it might be challenging for them to help. They don't understand everything, or they're under a lot of pressure. Be attentive to that. Stay polite. Don't be pushy. Just try to be professional, and then don't open a case for the same issue twice. So let's say you open the case, Amazon said no, and it really showed you why not, and it really should be kind of a done deal. But you think, I'm going to open it like 5 more times. Maybe somebody else might not understand what's going on, and I'll get paid. Try to hack it, in other words. That's not a good practice. Okay, it's not going to reflect well in your account. It's not the professional way. If you're eligible, you should be able to receive it. If you're not eligible, you're not eligible. Don't try to game the system, which is kind of the don't, the second, the last thing we want to say here. Really, don't try to game the system. Stay honest. Stay focused on your business. This is just one component of your business, like reconciling the past. But this is not the business. This is not how you really make money in this business. The way you make money is really selling products online, sourcing it, launching it, listing it, pricing it, marketing it, branding it. All that creates the business. Auditing is just really looking to the past, reconciling everything honestly, professionally, and of course, there's eligibility to get reimbursements. You get that, and that's the best and honest way to stay in this game. Don't game it, don't hack it, because why? If you do, it might get you in trouble, and that's going to affect the entire business itself. So keep that in mind. And a few notes about Amazon United States versus Amazon EU. This is really more like Amazon North America, just to be frank. But while total FBA refunds levels are very similar, okay, it's 1 to 3% high level for like all the marketplaces, there are key differences between the marketplaces worth mentioning. Okay, so here's one. So you got to must reconcile shipments on EU. So 6 months versus 9 months in the United States. We touched that earlier. Your inbound shipments, when you ship products to Amazon's fulfillment centers, this is the key difference. In the United States, you have 9 months to reconcile it, a bit more time. And UK and EU, you got 6 months. So if you're selling on both marketplaces, make sure you align that. You have a team that really knows that 6 months for EU or UK and 9 months for US. And don't make the mistake thinking, oh, both of them are 9 months. And then in the EU or UK, the shipment that is 8 months old, you think, oh, it's still okay, it's within the 9 months, and then they reject your claim, you have an issue. So that's a key difference that I cannot even explain more how important this is to make the difference so you get your money on time, because some sellers do get confused, and that's an issue. And then be attentive to metric and imperial systems when auditing FBA fees. Okay, meters, centimeters, gram versus feet, inches, pounds. Don't forget, in the United States, we have the what's it called? I guess they call it the imperial system. We use pounds, we use ounces, and we use feet, right? And in Europe, it's a metric system. Okay, it's meters, centimeters, stuff like that. So when you are reconciling all the weight and dimensions of the ASINs, make sure that the weight and dimensions are in the right format. Because if it's not, you're auditing and you think, hey, um, it's not 7 pounds, it's 3 pounds, but it's not that. It's actually kilos, stuff like that, or 7 grams. All these things, mistakes can happen there when you're auditing, or especially when you're listing your products on Amazon. Make sure you do it with the correct marketplace, with the correct metric system. Okay. So that's a key difference there. And just so you know, English can be used for filing cases in all marketplaces. So if you're an Amazon seller and selling in the US, but you have an account in Germany or France or Italy, and you want to reconcile all these FBA things and get reimbursements, and you don't speak those languages, no problem. Just submit the case in English. They'll help you. Okay, so that's a good thing. But of course, if you want to submit it in the native language that in the marketplace you're working on, you can do that as well. But that's a key difference you should know, or you should understand that it's okay. It's in your favor. So that's kind of the main thing between Europe and UK. And now, boom, boom. Lizette, what do you think?
Yeah, one thing before the boom, I wanted to say thanks to you for presenting the first part of today's workshop. Yes, we have some exciting things going on soon. So yeah, I wanted to say to everyone watching this session right now and who are enjoying Yoni's information and the answer he gives to your questions, then don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And now, Augustus, I think we will play a little clip about Getida and then ask some of more questions.
Yeah, first let's also remind that if you want to get free $400 of reimbursements, check Getida's website. You can find the link in the description, and you will end up on this nice orange looking page and get $400. And you can get today $1,000 of free reimbursements if you stay with us a little bit for a while and be active asking questions in the chat. And we have a lot of questions, which is good. And now, before we are going to give away money, or Getida is generous enough to give $150 in a moment. So let's bring also Lisa and Rob, other team members from Getida, which will be probably giving us more information very soon in the other parts. So where do we start with the trivia? Okay, here is the screen. Perfect.
I'll help out with the trivia.
What are the rules?
Yeah, so all you need to do is open up a new tab. Obviously, don't leave our session here right now. Open up a new tab. Go over to menti, menti.com. Enter the code to participate in this and have a chance to win. A couple of quick guidelines on this. You don't need to get them all right. If you're not sure about the answer, just guess. And we'll do our best. We'll try to pick a winner maybe by the end of the show. If not, we'll definitely get a hold of somebody. But head over to menti, menti.com in a new tab while you're still watching us here, and you can participate in the live trivia. Again, we're giving away a $150 Amazon gift card, and we probably will have one more trivia session where we'll give away another $150 Amazon gift card if we have time. Just real quick, I know there's a lot of questions coming in. Lisa and I are trying like heck to answer all of them as quick as we can. So definitely, if it's any questions related to Getida or you're not sure, you can always head over to and contact support@getida.com regarding any questions regarding Getida or the dashboard or anything you're having there. But man, there's a lot of good questions, Augustus, let me tell you. But
they're asking some incredible questions. I'm learning so much just from the questions they're asking and Yoni's answering. This is an incredible resource for people. And there's been a lot of questions about if this is going to be available after the fact. And just to clarify for anybody who hopped on late, this is going to live on the Orange Klik YouTube, so you can always replay. And be sure to take advantage of the QR codes that we've given on certain slides so that you can view this information on Seller Central directly. And also you can bookmark those pages as well, so you can refer back to them in the future as you continue to run your business. But yeah, this is awesome. Let's hit the trivia, Rob.
First question will be trivia question number 1. In Q1 of 2022, what percentage of the US consumer spending was e-commerce? So there's a bunch of choices there. I am going to start a timer. If I can remember how to do it. It's been a little while. Oops. Timer. Start the timer. We're going to do 1 minute. Okay, you got 1 minute to basically enter your results. So we got so far 9 answers. We want to get all 19 answers. Again, if you're not sure, that's okay. Just guess. Take a guess. Again, in 2022, Q1 of 2022, what percentage of the U.S. consumer spending was e-commerce? E-commerce. is the very key word there. So what percentage of the US consumer spending was e-commerce? We got about 30 seconds.
And the winner is also determined not only by the correct answer, but it should be also the fast, right?
Speed,
If there are like
speed,
5
yeah,
people.
speed.
It'll be
is
speed.
important.
But again, if you're not sure, take a guess at it. Because let me tell you,
fast.
I've had, Augustus, I've had trivia where we've done this, and literally out of the entire thing of maybe 3 questions, only several people only got 1 answer. Nobody even got 2.
Mhm.
So we literally started going by speed. So just take a guess. All right, we're almost done here. We're gonna go ahead and
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Oh.
Happy New Year!
No, wait.
All right, we're gonna
We're
stop
not
voting,
in Africa.
and we're gonna show results. So the results, the answer is 14%.
Mm.
14%.
Yeah, most
So
people
not
see
too
they
bad.
think it's 18%. They thought it was 18%.
Yeah.
35% of you thought it's 18%, but it's actually 14. That's good news for you guys. If most of you thought it's 18%, it's actually 4% less, which is a lot. Every percent is like hundreds of billions of dollars, right? So that means, what does that mean, Rob?
Yeah, so that means that there's a lot of money being spent in e-commerce. If you're not selling online and e-commerce in general, especially in the US marketplace, you definitely want to be doing that. I mean, you're missing out. You're definitely missing out.
That 14 will probably go to 18 like most people thought. And that 4% of growth
Absolutely.
is huge opportunity for you guys. If you're not in the game or you're in the game, just growth, because more and more people will be using e-commerce online and shopping online instead of regular stores. So yeah, it's a good industry to be in.
Absolutely. That's a good one. All right. We ready to go to the next?
Let's hit the second.
Last chance. Last chance to join. This is it. And we're only going to give like a 30-second warning on this. You got like 30 seconds. If you didn't get in on the first one, right now is the time. Yes, $150 US Amazon gift card and $150 Amazon gift card, US dollars. Yes. So we're just
if you already joined, you already joined the trivia, you don't have to do this again. This is if you want to join now.
Correct.
Okay, just keep that in mind, guys.
If you missed out. So you're going to be 1 slide behind, but you're going to get a chance here. So, all right, we're going to move on. We got lots to go today. So, all right, next question. If you got kicked out, you can just jump back in. All right, trivia number 2. How many viewed TikTok videos had hashtag Prime Day 2022? So how many viewed TikTok videos had hashtag Prime Day 2022? So there's a good question there. Again, I'm going to get the timer going here on this one.
Yeah, just to help out with this. So there's millions of viewed videos on TikTok during Prime Day that had the Prime Day 22 hashtag. So they're talking about stuff to buy on Amazon. So it's driving traffic into Amazon. How many viewed videos? Is it 24 million, 30 million, 37 million, 42 million, 52 million, 59 million, 64 million? I think there's another option over there, no?
I think there is too.
Oh,
I do.
It's
okay. Yeah, they'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it on your. Okay. Yeah, they'll be able to see it on their device.
You'll see it on your phone or on your computer. You'll see all the answers. I just want to make sure we get a timer going because we can't take all day on this. Again, if you're not sure, take your best guess on this. Take your best guess on what you think it is.
I just want to make a clarification too. This reads almost like how many TikTok videos were made with that hashtag. It's how many views collectively of the videos that were made.
Yeah, technically speaking, it could be one video that got watched millions of times.
Exactly. It's the total number of views, not necessarily the total. There weren't 37 million TikTok videos with hashtag Prime Day 2022. It's the views.
Here we go. We're going to close that voting. 3 seconds.
2,
Just guess.
1. Happy orange click.
All right. The answer was 52 million. Not bad.
Ooh,
right
on.
Good job. Yeah, most people got it. Let's lock the vote.
That's. I think I locked it, didn't I? Oh, I didn't close voting.
No.
Sorry, my bad. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it's closed out. We had a last couple of people jump in there. So yes, 52 million. 52 million viewed TikTok videos with the hashtag of Prime Day 2022. And again, like Lisa and Yoni both said that's views. It could have been viewed millions of times on one video. So this was a really cool thing to kind of learn, which means if you're not taking advantage of TikTok for your brand or for your products, you may want to look into that. It's definitely a growing, if it isn't already, space to be in, and a great way to, besides YouTube, there's TikTok, all social media platforms, to be honest, should be utilized for growing your brand or growing your product. So, and I've done, Augustus and I did a whole thing on YouTube even, but I'm not a TikTok expert, but definitely something to take a look at. All right. We're ready for the last one, Augustus. We got one more after this. Again.
So we have one more question,
Yep.
and the one which answered like the fastest, the most questions correct, then will be the winner, right? So even it's possible, maybe it was only one answer correct by every
That is
participant.
possible.
So maybe in the third question, if you still missed, you can still try to answer as fast as possible the third question.
Yeah, now
That
we're going
is
to move on
correct.
to the next question, and then we'll open up your ability to answer because somebody's saying that voting is not open because we closed it for this question. But for the next question, we'll open up, so don't worry.
Yep, exactly. So, all right, let's go on to the next one, and it will be back open again. So, trivia number 3, another TikTok question. TikTok plans to grow its e-commerce impact to $2 billion in 2022. How much does it plan to impact 2023?
Okay, let me step in here and help out. Yeah, let me help out
Yeah,
here.
go ahead.
In other words, TikTok, its impact during 2022 is going to be about $2 billion of sales that generated in e-commerce because of basically TikTok videos promoting you to buy stuff online, right? So right now it's about $2 billion for 2022. What are they expecting next year? What is going to be the impact? How much revenue in e-commerce is TikTok going to generate next year? So that's kind of the question. So if you can pull up the screen, let's see what the options are for answering. Will it be next year growing to 5 billion or 7 billion, 13 billion, 14 billion, 19 billion, 23 billion, 28 billion? It's like an auction.
Lots of billions there.
Yeah.
That's a lot, though. Even at 5 billion, that's huge. All the way up to 28 billion, that's a lot of growth.
Yeah, one thing looks for sure, it's going to grow. And how much is the impact going to grow next year? Yeah, TikTok, I would definitely say it's an important instrument for e-commerce sellers, Amazon sellers. And if you're not using that instrument, you know how they say, stop the train. You should probably stop the train and make sure you get on board and enjoy that train to drive traffic. We got about 8 seconds. Do the countdown, Money Man.
All right, let's go ahead and give the results. So the answer is 23 billion.
Wow, Peter tied up with 7 billion.
Yeah.
So most of you guys were bouncing between 7 billion to 23 billion, and like Rob said, $23 billion worth of e-commerce impact for next year. So it's going to grow more than 10 times next year. So that train is going to go like from a regular old steam train to a bullet train within 1 year. So
isn't that crazy? That's crazy. 2 billion to 23 billion in a year. Dang.
Yeah, the impact. So a lot of traffic is going to go to Amazon through TikTok in the coming year. Hopefully it'll be your traffic as well, so you can generate sales. That's pretty much the idea here.
And I wanted to remind that you can still, if you have never heard of Getida or you never signed up for their service, check the link below to get $400 to be reimbursed for free as a bonus for you by their team. And you can sign up with the link below and be active in the rest of the presentations. We already got probably 15 questions from different people, and all these questions get an entry in the giveaway, which will be running in maybe about 1 hour. So few people actually will be able to get $1,000 reimbursements for free offer from Getida, even if you are an existing Getida's customer. So they will match your previous free bonus if you had in the past to 1,000. And now let's have a short break with a funny ad of Getida, and we will move to the part 2 where Getida will teach us how you can maximize the profit.
Set me on fire. Can you let me on?
All right. So slides are on the screen. How to maximize the profits.
So for part 2, there's obviously a lot of ways that you can increase your profits in your Amazon business, right? But here are some of the things that we're going to cover specifically. One of them is outsourcing, when you can expand your team, when it's going to be beneficial for you to outsource, and what tools you can use. Another one's going to be how to lower your Amazon fees, how to increase your Amazon profits directly. And then one of the techniques is going to be repurposing your old inventory. So those are some of the key points that we're going to be hitting today. So if we go into the next slide, let's cover outsourcing. So should you outsource and when should you outsource? I think oftentimes with entrepreneurs, they can get a little overwhelmed with, the thought of expanding their team, right? There's a little bit of a fear of losing some of that control. And we're so used to just white knuckling through and saying, nope, it's my business. I've got to go. I've got a handle on this. But you can often be overworked and not even realize it. So if you're starting to feel overworked, it might be time to outsource. Or if you're working more in the business than you are on the business, are you spending more time kind of answering those customer questions and tweaking your Amazon ads or your Facebook ads just so, as opposed to being strategic in how you're going to grow and maybe looking forward towards the future? You may have some processes that need to be automated in order to scale your business. Again, this goes back to working in versus on your business. It's really about using your time most effectively so that you can run an efficient business. And that hits our last point. Your time is your greatest expense in your business. If you think about even just breaking it down on an hourly pay level, how much you are making within the business, your time that is spent in that, you've got to make that worthwhile. It's got to be the most important factor. So it kind of, if you hit one or all of these, it's absolutely time to start outsourcing. So some of the tips for getting started is outsource as you go. Start really small. You don't need to all of a sudden just say, hands off, I'm going to hire a team of 20 and they're going to run the whole business. That's not probably going to work. I can't think of any situation in which that would work. So start small, focus on what you're really good at, kind of keep to that skill and outsource for the items that maybe you're not so great at. So
I want to join here to what you said, Lisa, on the outsource as you go. I want to help with the psychology of it. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. You'll make a mistake trying to find people, you'll invest time into them, it will work out, it's not going to work out. Okay, even the ones that don't work out, as long as you're committed to that and you're going to break your head until you find the right people, the moment they click in and they do what they got to do, man, you're going to be able to scale. You're going to be able to make more profit. It's going to be a whole different ball game. So don't be afraid to make that mistake or make that effort, or don't be afraid to waste your time investing in this, because it's an investment. It might, sometimes investment you lose, but as long as you're committed and it has value, it's going to come back around and boom, and bring you all that value. So have that mentality in mind. Going for it, but go ahead, Lisa.
Awesome. Thanks, Yoni. You definitely know more about this from personal experience than I do, so thank you for that input. So like I said, really focus on what you're good at, stick to your strengths, and begin outsourcing kind of for those weaknesses. Everybody has something they're really great at. You might be an awesome marketer and not so great at bookkeeping, or you might be a fantastic bookkeeper, but not so great at product design. So start outsourcing for those skills that you may not necessarily be strongest in, and stick to your strengths and outsource your weaknesses. You also want to scale with quality in mind. I love to use the analogy of a $500 tattoo versus a $50 tattoo. Cheapest is not always the best. Like Yoni just said, it's an investment in your business. So be sure that whatever solution whatever problem you're trying to solve, whatever solution you want to enact in your business, yes, you're going to make mistakes along the way, but at least try to lead with quality first. And then finally, setting the standard and goals for your team, whether this be people that you bring into your team or if you're outsourcing to VAs, it's really important to set the standard of work that you want to be carried throughout your entire organization and the goals for your team, whether that's weekly or monthly KPIs, overall business goals that they should be aware that they're working towards, because that's not only going to help them to stay on track, but it's going to keep them motivated and really dedicated to helping build this business along with you. So it's more like you have a partner than you do subordinates, I think. Yoni, do you have anything to add on that last one?
Yeah, just many times for the for the Amazon sellers, kind of everything looks very natural and understandable to you. But if you really want to hire people and good people into your team, try to break down the elements for them so it's very understandable. And a good way or method of doing it is KPIs, key performance indicators. A small example, you all know that Amazon requires you to reply to customer service messages within 24 hours. But if you hire somebody, you never kind of told them that, and they check the messages once a week and it might be late, it's not good thing, right? So that's a simple example to explain to you the guys that, of course, somebody coming in, they know the time limits and the KPIs, the key performance indicators, in this case, customer support. You check it at least once every 24 hours, maybe a few times a day if you have a lot of action going on with your customer support. So when you change the team, things that look obvious to you, it's not obvious to them. So try to simplify everything as much as possible. Just stick to the basics and give them those basics, and you'll see how they're going to start flourishing on their own once they understand kind of all the elements. Because I always say that a good setup is everything. If you're going to set them up well and for success, and you're going to get quality people, you're going to get really good quality results. If you're going to try to kind of create shortcuts or just trying to say, I'm going to try to hire until I get like a genius. Yeah, it's one strategy, but you might waste a lot of time along the way, and you might skip a lot of good, awesome people that can be really good quality people for your business until you reach that genius. So one thing will fix your whole business. Typically, it doesn't happen. So every person you come across with for your team, give them a fair chance. Do the maximum you can do to give them the best opportunity to succeed in what they do. Because if you do it well, they're probably gonna do even better. Just have that in mind. Don't think that everybody kind of owe something to you and just gonna come to them. Just put an effort into that. That's the right mindset for expanding and hiring teams. It's critical to be successful at it, because if you will, that's a big key to success in this business, where you can all of a sudden do things you have time to do things you never did before for the business, or you can have time to do things for your life, spend time with your family, friends, maybe take a vacation, things of that nature. All of a sudden you have more energy, is more refreshed, so you're not going to burn yourself out within a year or two. You're going to be able to be in this industry for the next 30 years. So think strategically about this.
Awesome.
Lisa,
Thank you
back
so
to you.
much. Feels like we're on the news right now, doesn't it? Now back to you. So now we've identified, okay, should you outsource? Some of the tips for getting started. Now the question is where? Where are you going to find these folks to bring onto your team to help you grow your business? We've outlined 5 really awesome services here. First one being Multiply Me. Second, Virtual Assistants Academy, also known as VAA. Thirdly, Fiverr. I think everybody's pretty familiar with Fiverr. If you need, you can get virtual assistants there, but there's a wide range of freelancers that can do, you can get pretty much anything done on Fiverr, I've come to find. If you just poke around in there, any and all things, within reason, I guess I should say. FreeUp is also a great resource specifically for e-commerce freelancing. And then Upwork as well, another great general outsourcing platform for freelancers. And then if we're talking about Amazon businesses specifically, over the next 2 slides, we have some resources listed. The first being some agencies. These are some folks in the industry that are able to help with various facets of your business. If you guys want to check out some of their websites, we don't necessarily have them linked, but we'll be able to share them with you in the future through the Getida Partner Directory. At Amazon Experts, Avenue 7, Bellavix, Better AMS, Buybox Experts, eCommerce, Online Seller Solutions, and Trivium. And then next we have, on top of agencies, we also have some tools that are helpful for Amazon sellers. AZ Seller Kit, we've got Data Dive, Ecom Engine, Helium 10, which I'm sure everybody on this call is familiar with, PickFu, we have Seller Snap, Takeometrics, and Zon Support. So these are some awesome resources. Again, if you guys aren't able to catch all of these right now, this will live on YouTube. You can always go back, do your research, see which Amazon agency or tool is going to fit best for your business. But these are some of the ones that we,
can highlight. I just want to kind of I want to kind of step in here on the tools level, because actually, let me go back here one more. You can just Google these names. You'll be able to see these agencies, what's their level of specialty. Some of them will be more specialized in listing optimization. It could be flat files, it could be advertising, PPC, creative, international expansion, things of that nature. So you can Google and see the kind of the specialty of each one. And then the tools, just a high level here. AZ Seller Kit is a tool that helps you with price management, especially if you're doing private label. So it's called price elasticity. What is the optimal price for you to sell your product on Amazon? Okay, because you might think that increasing your price might get you less rank, less sales, something like that, but you find that maybe you'll sell less units, but you'll sell with higher numbers, and at the end of the day, you're going to make more money, more profit. Sometimes not just selling, 1 million units. You might sell 800,000 units for a more expensive price, for example. And at the end of the day, it'll make more profit because you are working for profit. So this technology here helps you find the equilibrium of what is the best optimal price elasticity for your product. Each ASIN has its own world. So keep that in mind. It helps you make more profit at the end of the day. That's where you're kind of working for. You're not just working to say, I'm seven-figure eight seller, seven-figure seller, eight-figure seller. It's all good. But if you're not really making profit, what does it all makes? It doesn't make sense, right? So this helps you with the profits element. Data Dive is pretty much a good tool that helps you basically with keywords and saving a lot of time with researching them and downloading files. It's kind of a shortcut for keyword optimization. You got Ecom Engine, where they have a suite of tools. Some of them are for feedback if you want to provide. Reach out to consumers to provide feedback, so you give you feedback for your store on the store level, not necessarily on the ASIN level. But also they have Restock Pro to help you with restocking or inventory management. Of course, Helium 10 has a suite of tools. There's Atomic for advertising. There's X-Ray. There's Scribble. It's pretty heavy load here in a good way. To help you with a lot of things that you need for selling on Amazon. Pigfu is really good for A/B testing for your images and creative stuff. So they have a pool of people that right away you put the images or videos there, and they'll tell you which one you should use, which one they like better. All these consumers. SellerSnap is repricing for resellers. If you are reselling brands and stuff like that, it's a kind of a buy box war. So SellSnap, they have really good technology to optimize that. Ticometrics, they have a very robust AI-driven platform for managing your advertising and stuff like that. They do it at scale. And Zon Support helps you with account management, customer support, things of that nature. In a very good quality level. So these are some of the tools/services here that we can highlight if you want to get started on scaling your business and making more profit. That's kind of the point here. And then maybe Rob wants to take this one, or I should take this one.
Go ahead, Yoni. I'm just finishing up the trivia.
We're about to get the winner.
We're going to get the winner in next slide or two. So,
Man, I'm so nervous. Okay, good. All right, so guys, so here we prepared a case study for you because we want to basically illustrate what is driving a lot of the cost when it comes to selling an FBA. And if you minimize that cost, hopefully you'll be able to make much more profit. So we have a case study of a $5 million seller. How do we know it's a $5 million seller? Because they made orders of $219,000, and if you do that every 2 weeks, that's $440,000 for the month times 12. It's about $5 million. And of course, you have this beautiful blue area where all the money coming into Amazon account. And unfortunately, you have all this red area where money is kind of coming out of your Amazon account. So if you look closely at the breakdown, you see you got refunded sales, promo rebates, you got FBA fees. So the FBA fees kind of look very thin in a way. Seems like okay. And then you have the rest of the Amazon fees and other. So here what I'm trying to tell you is that for these Amazon fees, it's actually inside of them hiding a lot. There's hiding a lot of FBA fees, and here are the fees. So the Amazon fees are actually $77,000, but out of the $77,000, $43,000 are FBA fulfillment fees, and these fulfillment fees are the pick and pack fees. When Amazon picks the unit from the bin, they package it in a box, they ship it out. So 43,000 is almost 20%. Let's take a quick summary here. So you'll see that the FBA fees, the fulfillment fees, almost 20%, plus the regular FBA fees. Put them together, it's about 20%. And don't forget, there's about 15% selling fees for this account. So you see that 35% of all the sellers' revenue are in Amazon fees, which are burning through the margin. So if you take it for the year, that's $1.75 million in annual fees in FBA. So it's very important that every one of you watching this does this exercise and look into how much they're paying in fees and what is the percentage from all the sales. So if you find that you're 35%, the strategies we want to give to you now will help you reduce it to 34%, maybe 33%, 30%. So every percentage point that you take down in fees is a big boom and boost to your profit. So that's kind of the mission that we have here, because this part 2 is all about making more profit for your business. So this is very important for us to give you the case study to understand the impact of the fulfillment fees, the FBA fees, because they're the king of all fees when it comes to FBA. That's one thing I want to mention, but I don't want to depress anybody. But don't forget, you have the PPC universe where PPC adds more fees. So you have 35% of all these fees are Amazon fees, but PPC can add 10, 20, 30. Sky's the limit with fees. Sometimes you could be losing money because your A cost is 800%. You're spending it in advertising more, you're actually making revenue, right? So this is different universe. A lot of the content out there and training is all about PPC, as it should, because it's a money pit. And there's the whole universe. But now I'm taking you to the other side of the universe where it's FBA fees. FBA has its own logic and its own world, and I want to take you into that world so you understand how it works. So you understand that you need to know your numbers, and if you know them well and you take some good actions, you'll be able to minimize those, reduce those. Same thing you're trying to do with PPC all the time. Reduce the A cost, right? May have better A costs. Same thing here with FBA fees. If you do well, it's going to generate more profit. So here's a strategy that Rob, you ready?
So yeah, what we're going to do here on the packaging lighter, smaller, and smarter is what we're referring to is, and this actually could almost start back at your manufacturer. So for instance, we gave an example here. If you're ordering a soccer ball, if you're having that soccer ball put into a box and shipped over and it's inflated with air, okay, not only is that going to cost you a lot more, let's say even back at the factory, because they're going to have to use a larger box, that's going to take up less space on a 40-foot container, which is going to not allow you to get as much product over here. Whereas if you took the soccer ball and deflated it, took all the air out of it, that would give you a chance to package it into a smaller, something like a little bag or something like that, fit a lot more in a 40-foot container. That's going to get it over to Amazon. That's going to take up less space in their warehouse. So you're going to have less fees for Amazon warehouse just by deflating the air out of the ball versus bringing it already set up with the with air in it. Now, little tip I kind of noticed also is maybe even since you got it flatter, you could throw in a pump since you're bringing it to them, and you could sell it as a bundle, right? So now you got a bundle, which could be even a better product, or maybe
that's a good tip, by the way. But yeah, that's a good tip. I never thought about that.
Yeah, because now it's deflated. Maybe you have it in a bag. Maybe you could fit a small little pump. I mean, there's smaller pumps than the one we show on here, but the little hand ones and stuff that you could fill it up with. Now it's a little package. Now you also just offered an incentive extra. Going into something like if you're selling clothing, for instance, instead of it being just kind of laying loose or folded one time, maybe you could roll it up, put it in a baggie. Again, you're going to get a lot more in a container over here. So you're going to take advantage of those higher prices on those 40-foot containers by getting more quantity over to Amazon's warehouse. Also, it's going to reduce your fees on the weights and measurements in the warehouse or the fees that's going to cost you in the warehouse. So that's a couple of examples we give. I'm sure there's tons more. And so what I'm going to ask is if you have any suggestions, put it in the comment section of maybe ways that people could save money, something like this. If there's a product, you don't have to list necessarily the exact product, but maybe put it in the comment section, something where you've done that actually saved you guys money, not only on the warehouse side, being able to get, the manufacturer side, being able to get more on your container, but also saving fees in Amazon's warehouse. Game time.
All
Yeah,
right.
so
Right.
this
So, yeah. Go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's another opportunity to get a little bit of interaction from the audience, but I think we wanted to go on ahead and announce that winner before we get into this one.
Yes.
I
So
think
let's
we're good with the winner. Yeah, I think we're good with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
perfect.
Let's do this. Let's not yet announce the winner. Let's make a short break talking about Getida. We have a couple of questions about Getida, and after this, we will announce the winner of the first trivia. So we have a question here. Someone was asking, Lali says, does the Getida customer need to do this regularly, or does Getida system do it for us? So probably about auditing.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it was, we received this question when Yoni was talking about making the cases and going through the reports.
Yeah. So let's put it this way: if you're not using anybody, yeah, you should be able. You should be auditing your account, your Amazon account regularly. You can go back up to 18 months or some things, then 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, depends what it is. So for each type of issue, make sure you're doing it in the right time frame. So you need to do it yourself. But of course, if you reach out to solutions out there, for example, like Gatida, we'll take care of it for you. So you know that you can focus on your business and launching products, selling products, branding, marketing, everything that you're doing to run the business, and we're gonna be able to have your back. We're always gonna be looking to the past, have your back, and make sure that we're focused on solving that for you, so you really have time to focus on what really makes the business. So hopefully that helps the question, La and Lee.
Yeah,
I
and
want to
actually-
just to add into that real quick. So if you are using Getida, by the way, we are auditing your account daily. Your account's getting audited daily. So the steps
24/7, basically, yeah.
Yeah. So Yoni just showed all those steps. If you wanted to do it by hand or manually, that's not by hand, but it's manually do it with all those different spreadsheets and everything. Getida, if you're already using Getida, we're doing that for you and we're auditing daily for you.
All right, we have another one. Does Getida look into returns that show on my removal inventory but not available after almost a year?
So here's when it comes to removals, we can't do much for you because we don't have data from the warehouses that if, an inventory, anything got delivered, right? That's when we that's when we kind of reach our limit. So in regards to removals, whoever does your warehouse, it could be your own team or an or a 3PL, a third-party fulfillment center. Make sure that they give you a reporting or visibility on all the inventory they received during the removal order. Then you or somebody from your team can reconcile all that data. And if, of course, you see there's missing units, missing packages, or missing parts, you take action. Hopefully this is helpful. Julia.
Yeah, perfect. And yeah, one more time, I wanted to remind everyone that if you enjoy the content so far, let me remove this comment. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to like and subscribe here below this video. And now let's announce the winner of the trivia after. So the winner of the previous trivia is...
The winner of the first trivia is Shaya Sauer, Shaya. Last name is Sauer, Sauer. I think we're going to throw it up on the screen here.
Yes.
We'll be getting a hold of you. Hopefully all your contact information was right. If it wasn't, then we'll probably reach out via LinkedIn or some other way. But yeah, Shaya Sauer, thank you so much for participating. Got 3 out of 3 correct, by the way. Ended up getting
Amazing.
3 out
Wow.
of 3.
It's pretty solid.
The next only 2 people got 2 out of the 3, and everybody else got 1. So and stay tuned. Again, we will have another trivia. We will be giving away another $150 Amazon gift card. But congratulations, Shaya.
Yeah, actually, cool. Yeah, Leon said that they got all 3 right. Maybe it was the same.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
think that's Shaya.
The
I
same
think that's
person. Yeah.
There you
yeah,
go.
so,
Nice. Well,
yeah.
congratulations.
We got some Amazon pros here.
Yeah.
Or
Some more
TikTok pros.
interaction.
Maybe they're
Cool.
TikTok. Yeah, maybe they're TikTok.
More like
pros. I don't know.
TikTok.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Okay, we got some big game time here going on. So what's this about, Lisa?
Yeah, so like I said, this is just another opportunity for the guests to kind of interact. There's no necessarily prize for this section, but this kind of teases back to an email, if you guys were signed up for this, that Orange Klik sent out yesterday. We just want to hear from you guys on maybe where you would put these certain products in different categories. So if we go on ahead to the next slide, we're going to have 2 products for you. We're going to stop in between. Tell us in the live stream comments where you would place this product in which category. So if we have a fashion watch, so probably a women's watch with a lot of jewels, a beautiful, watch face on it, would you list it in the jewelry category or in the watch category? And this is going to lead into a conversation about really your Amazon fees and, going back to the conversation of increasing your profitability and minimizing your fees. So tell us in the comments which category you guys would place a watch of this style in.
If I would need to search for such watch, I would look at the watch category.
You would go to watch? Okay.
If I would
Got
need
it.
to search.
Yeah, I do want to kind of recap, reminding everybody this is part 2. We're focusing on how to make more profit and optimizing your costs and reducing your costs, things of that nature. But imagine you open the Amazon Seller Central account. You want to list a watch that you have to sell. So you go to add a product to Amazon, and then you start putting all the information in, and then basically you see the drop down menu, and then you see A for I don't know, a B, C, all these categories, and you hit the jewelry J category. Okay, so you choose that. You keep on listing your product. That is typically how it kind of all plays out when you start listing your product. If you do manually, if you do it with the upload file, it can be more tricky or more complicated. Or if you were doing it with the drop down menu, you got to go all the way down to W, to the watch category. So it might be even a situation where you don't even see it, right? For example, but which one would you have to choose? We have the question.
I love this answer. Look at the answer at the bottom of the screen that somebody gave. This is great. Great answer. But yes, if you guys could just real quickly in the comment section, jewelry category or watch category, we're going to announce the answer right now on that. This again is to help you. There's lots of, picking the right category can actually make a difference in your bottom line, and doing it incorrectly, it'll hurt you. So go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, awesome. So Daniela, I love your response. But yeah, I think we've given enough time. We can go ahead and hit to the next one again, because watches are often seen as accessories. We could say it would go in the jewelry category, but that has a 20% fee versus a 16% fee for the watch category. So if you miscategorize, not necessarily miscategorize, but maybe don't pick the optimal category for your product, that could result in a 4% fee difference in which your business is missing out. And like Rob just said, that's hitting your bottom line. So we've got another product that might not necessarily be as easy of a choice. Let's go on ahead to the next
Yeah, but
slide.
not so much. When I never kind of thought about a
Nope.
watch store, but I always kind of think about, I need watch. I see it in jewelry store. So for many people trying to sell
Not
this
just
stuff
that,
on
it
Amazon.
has diamonds and gold on it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
a piece of jewelry.
yeah, don't forget when you see in the drop down menu, J comes before W. So you see jewelry, I go to the jewelry store. Yeah, I'm gonna list it there. Boom, you're gonna pay 20% of selling fees as opposed to 16. You did $1 million a year in sales. You're gonna be paying here $200,000, and here you're gonna be paying $160,000. So it's a $40,000 difference because you didn't settle right in your position when you start selling and listing products on Amazon. That can be a common mistake, for sellers. But let's see the next
look at
example.
Lion's comment on the watch. And, if the watch is a $1,500 watch and that's a 3% difference, that can slash your fees pretty significantly there. There's a big difference there.
In other words, there's even more optimization or cost savings in the watch category, which is watch. That's why it's more the preferred way to go for watches. And if you guys really jewelry like earrings and bracelets, stuff like that, that obviously needs to be in the jewelry category unless there's a specific category for those types of products with a better kind of selling fee structure. Go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, so our second product is going to be a dishwasher, which you guys listed in the kitchen category or full-size appliance category, which, as never having been a seller myself, I didn't even realize that full-size appliance was an option. And they both make so much sense to me that this one was really, really hard. So
Put your answers in, people. Put your answers in.
Yeah, tell us where you guys would list
this one's
it.
not as easy. This is not as easy of one.
Where
both are good categories.
Augustus, where would you instinctively list a dishwasher?
No. Let's see.
A kitchen maybe, because it's just kitchen full appliance. Maybe it's not clear for me what is there.
Augustus, when we researched this, me and Lisa actually kind of were talking to each other about this, and it's like when it says full size appliance, I'm thinking like refrigerators and things like that, but those are also kitchen appliances. So this is a tough one. So yeah, please be sure to put your comment in. Is it a kitchen category or put full size? You can either say kitchen or full size as an answer. We'll take those. Lion's on fire on this, getting us answers. So
absolutely,
congratulations again, by the way.
I think Lion should fill the lottery. I think Lion or Cheyenne. Yeah. You're doing good.
It's a little bit of a split here.
It is a split.
Kitchen,
but appliance is actually only an 8% fee versus 15% in kitchen. So that's a huge jump there, you guys. That is a 7% difference in your fees. And on a larger ticket item like this, that's going to make an enormous difference to your bottom line. So we kind of speak a little bit more to that on the next slide, just outlining.
Yeah, but I want to stick the numbers in again here. These type of product is easy for many sellers to reach $1 million in revenue. So once again, you do $1 million in revenue, and if you list it in this category, you'll pay $150,000 in fees as opposed to $80,000 in fees. So $70,000 of a difference, which just happens left and right all the time because many people who are in the retail business are jumping into the e-commerce business, and they use some sort of categorization of things, and this looks at them very foreign. Full size appliance category, because Amazon's making its own world of categories sometimes, so they might just skip on this and just say I'm in the kitchen category and boom, and get hit with all these fees where they can pretty much optimize it and get into a better result.
Absolutely. You're so much better at doing math on the fly than I am, Yoni. Thank you for
I always
use
$1 million. For me, anything I do, I put it to $100, whatever, simple numbers. Oh, this is the gap. Okay, now I know what I need to do. That's kind of my mentality when it comes to fees and stuff.
But the bottom line we're trying to make here, folks, is just be sure that you're selecting the correct category. The monetary impact that your business can have of selecting the wrong category, or maybe not necessarily wrong, but not the best category for your product, is enormous, as we've outlined. So between the watch and the jewelry category, that's a 4% difference, and the kitchen and full-size appliance category, 7%. So there's tens of thousands of dollars on the line for your business. And if you guys wanted to research, I think just from looking at the comments, some of you may already know about this resource, but if you don't, you can scan that QR code we've provided or visit getida.com/AMZ-fees, and you can check out all of the different category fees so that you can best know where to list your product when you're listing it on Amazon, so that you kind of avoid that those additional fees, those unnecessary fees. And the final part of our part 2, which is going to be talking about the repurposing inventory. Yoni, I think I'm going to let you or Rob take this one over. But you guys, just so you know, I know a couple of us had problems with the trivia before. After this slide, we have the next section of trivia. So go on ahead and get the Mentimeter loaded. Be sure you refresh your browser if you need to. There's more opportunities to win 150 right after this. So boys, if you want to take this over.
Go ahead, Joni.
Rambo, you don't want to take this one?
I mean, I'm more than happy to. So yeah, talking about repurposing inventory. So our data showed that most inventory can be refurbished, resold, or reinvested. Should you remove and inspect your FBA inventory? It depends on the cost of the item. The cost of removing it from FBA is whether to inspect or resell it, less expensive or more. Now, the reason we're bringing this up is because sometimes if you're removing your inventory, you might be able to refurbish it and then resell it again. But again, it depends on the cost of the item, how much you're selling it for. So if you could bring that screen back up a little bit bigger, just so everybody could see it, because I'm actually having a hard time seeing it. Thank you. There we go. So for instance, unit cost, if your unit cost is $2 and the removal cost to remove it is 50 cents plus the inspection, so we're up to $4.50 now. And then plus resell for $2, your total removal cost is $6.50.
So let me butt in here because I want to kind of
go ahead.
Join for the ride here. So one second, we're talking about when you have unfulfillable units on FBA, right? The question is, if the unfulfillable, you have pretty much today and these days, you have high level 3 options. First option, dispose it. So Amazon throws it to the garbage, whatever, or to a recycling area. Second option is a liquidation. You have that option. So Amazon kind of liquidates, sell it somewhere and you get some money out. Or the third option is removal order. So here we're trying to do a breakdown of the math. If it makes sense, so everybody should do their own math to see mathematically if it makes sense for them to remove it or not. So in this example here, your original cost was $2. To remove it was 50 cents. Inspecting it means when the you or your 3PL opens it, checks it, see what's going on. There's labor involved, right? So it can add 2 costs per unit here in this example. Reselling it means that they're gonna repackage it, repurpose it, label it, send it back to Amazon. So all in, your cost all of a sudden changed from $2 originally to $6.50. So 3 times more expensive. You invested more resources because your original resource cost was $2, now it's $6.50. So all that headache of cost addition, what's going to happen if you repurpose it and put it back to the market? Rob, take him there.
Yeah. So if your cost, like we were just talking about, is $6.50, but the Amazon sell price is $19.99, basically $20. Now, remember, your Amazon fees are about 32% of that. Okay, so your net proceeds are going to end up being $13.60. If you take out that removal cost minus the Amazon price, the fees, and the net proceeds or cost from the net proceeds, you end up with a profit of $6.10.
$7.
I'm sorry, $7.10. I'm looking at the wrong thing. My bad. So yeah, $7.10. So in this case, in this scenario, it would definitely be worth taking that inventory, repurposing it, and reselling it. And just as a quick example, Yoni, let's not also forget, if you want to not deal with that, but you've run the numbers and you say this is worth it, you can look at companies like Tradeport down in the bottom left corner. They do manage that for you and help you with this scenario we just kind of gave and get those items repurposed and back selling again, so you can get some money out of those items instead of them just being destroyed and you don't make any money or out the door and gone. So definitely something to take a look at. Another way to repurpose inventory and make some money.
Yeah, I think how great it will be to, instead of just disposing your products and not making anything, all of a sudden, taking some more actions, small ones, and all of a sudden, if you invest $6.50 and you make $7, so you're making more than 100% of your money, and this will take you a few weeks. Within a few weeks, you'll be able to sell it and make that money. That's a better investment than any investment in real estate or stock market or anything. So don't be alarmed about all the work and all the headaches, because if this, for example, will be the result, it makes sense. But of course, you do all this work and you don't get your money back, because don't forget, you're getting 2 things back. You're getting $6.50 back, plus you're making profit. That's amazing. You're getting all your original costs. So I recommend everybody here watching this kind of opening a spreadsheet, try to calculate all the costs involved in removing your inventory and repurposing it, because we see that 70-80% of all the unfulfillable inventory on FBA is perfectly fine. Really, it's really, really good. It can be, I'll give you a small example. You can be an Amazon consumer, you bought something and you want to return it, and then Amazon tells you, no, you want to return it, we're going to charge your credit card $6 for a return shipping label. And you're like, I don't want to pay $6 for this. So what you do is you tell them, instead of change my mind as a reason, you tell them it's damaged or I got the wrong item. Because if you do that, Amazon will tell you, okay, here's a free shipping label. So some consumers do that. They send the product back. It's mint condition, brand new in the packaging. But once the consumer tells Amazon there's something wrong with the inventory, Amazon's not going to check it for you. In other words, the customer is always right, even if they're wrong. Okay, so when there comes a situation like this where a consumer says it was the wrong item or was defective, even though they didn't even touch it because they're trying to save a little bit on shipping fees, then when Amazon gets it, it's unfulfillable, and then it's up to you, the seller, to choose what you want to do with it. And we see that the overwhelming majority of inventory is perfectly fine. Therefore, you gotta dig into the cost structures to see if it makes sense for you to repurpose them, sending them back to Amazon or back to the game, cash it out with profit, and then you'll be a better business. So that's kind of the idea behind this.
Yoni, I want to add one more thing because I did see a comment come in. Just backing up slightly to the categories. We're talking about the watch. We gave the example of the watch. We gave the example of the dishwasher. So don't try to game the system. So if you see that, hey, this watch or this dishwasher should be in this category, but you're like, hey, this category is cheaper, I'll put it over here. That could actually hurt you in the long run a couple different ways. A, Amazon's going to catch on eventually and move your item into the correct category. B, people are going to be looking and probably guided to that correct category when they're looking for a product that you're selling. So don't try to game the system by putting it in a category that's cheaper just because it's cheaper, but it's not the right fit. What we were trying to show as the example is if you accidentally put it in the wrong category that happened to be more, and you should be over in the category it's less. So just a kind of a tip right there. Just be careful with that because you don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, always do the right thing. But of course, if you kind of maybe were offsides and because of that you're paying heavily, we want to put you back to the right place. That's
could cost you more money down the road because the chances are you may be losing sales if you're not in the right category also. So
true, yeah.
Something to think about.
Think about the consumer. They want to find you in the right place they can. Go ahead, Augustus, you want to add something?
Yes, we have a question related to the previous slide about the categories. So Lion says, actually going back to the watch, if you can pull that screen, or can I show the slides?
You can try, yeah.
Yeah, so he says jewelry category only pays 5% over $250 sale price. So if sale is over 500, he says that it's cheaper to list in the
no, it's 5% over for that amount. So if you sell something, let's say for example, what was the threshold? Over two. So you sold for $300. So for the 250, you're gonna pay 20%. For the additional 50, you'll pay 5%.
Okay, not for the
okay.
whole.
It doesn't
again,
it's change everything to 5%. Yeah, it's incremental.
Like I just mentioned, though, it's also about being in the correct category. You know, you want to make sure you're in the correct category and not trying to get around it.
Yeah, I could think about the consumer when they do a bracelet, and then Amazon algorithm will kind of repurpose it most likely towards the right category, anyways, because Amazon knows what the categories are, what the algorithm needs to push according to the optimization of the categories. So you might be missing out. If they're talking about watches and you're purposing the jewelry, they'll, I don't know, it might just confuse the whole thing. So if you want to do something, do it right and be thorough about it. And of course, if you kind of did it correctly into the wrong category and because of that you're overpaying, just put yourself in the right category and pay probably less. That's all we're trying to say here. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, let's keep going.
It's trivia time again.
Quick heads up on this trivia. We're going to go a little faster this time. So people got how to do it on the first one. We're going to definitely go a little bit quicker on this one. I think you may have, Augustus, you already put a little thing in the comment area for everybody to kind of get started and get over there?
Yes, and I put here on the screen.
So we got the dating site pitching in, Augustus, for your consideration. But on the chat, but
yeah, we will sort this out. But I wanted to mention that besides that, you can go now to menti.com and enter this code. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like if you enjoy the content. It's always fun with Getida whenever we do something, and I'm happy that it's quite engaging for already 2 hours, and we still have 1 hour and a little bit to run this show, and we'll have few special guests, surprise guests in 1 hour, more or less. And now we will, while you're going to menti.com, entering the code on the screen to participate in the next trivia to win $150 Amazon gift card from Getida. I wanted to mention that we still have a third part after this, and the third part will be about Getida. We will see exactly how Getida software works and how they can help you to get money back from Amazon. And afterwards, we will follow all your questions. We have a lot of unanswered questions. And don't forget, we will be choosing a couple of winners to get $1,000 of free reimbursements from Getida. So, trivia. We have 9 people joined.
We also have the
So
link if
let's
you want to drop it in
get
the
back
chat.
up to 20.
Yeah,
There's a link. The link, it's a shortcut to get in. So you don't have to put menti.com into all the code. If you use the link, you don't have to put the code in. If you want, you can drop it over there at the chat. Yeah.
The first question, trivia number 1. What is the current size of the Getida team? See, now not everybody's going to know this, so you got to take
Start
a
the
guess.
timer. Start the timer.
Yeah, we're going to get that timer going right now. Here we go. Oops. All right, we're going to give you 1 minute.
I'm gonna
You
give
can
you
always
guys
take a
some.
guess.
I'm gonna give some tips here. Getida was established in 2015. We got our team members are in 6 countries. We got people in 6 countries. Yeah, I think it's 6 countries.
Maybe you should tell them how many people submit reimbursements. Let's give them a little hint on this.
Nah,
for
if I
our
do
team.
that, they're gonna give.
You
it
want to give that
away.
after? That might give too much away.
No, I think we need to do some mathematics. So 2015 times 6 countries, it will be 12,090. And then we have to divide by what?
Wait, actually, I'll give a
What
hint
is the
without giving
hint?
too much away.
There is no
so
hint.
I started a little over a year ago as CMO at Gatida. And in the last year, we've doubled our team. So that maybe will help you a little bit. We've doubled our team in the last year.
We got 7 seconds. 6, 5. If you're not sure, just guess. If you need a few more,
guess.
we can add like another. Let's add like 10 seconds. We'll do it.
All right, we'll add
countdown.
10 more seconds. Here we go.
All right. If you're not sure what it is,
do it.
just guess, guys. Just guess what it is. Don't
Oh, it didn't.
Even if you
didn't
get it
let me
wrong,
do
it's all good. No, you can then click on the clock. Click on the clock.
20 seconds. Here we go.
All right. So if you're not sure,
All
just
right.
guess it. Try it. Don't worry. If you get it wrong, it's fine. If you get it right, it's cool. We got more questions coming up. It's all good. No worries. And then we got 12, 11.
Yeah,
10.
actually,
Just take a guess.
if they watched one of the last live streams we did with YONI
I
about 1 month
mentioned it.
ago.
I mentioned it.
You
Yeah.
mentioned
I did.
Yeah.
That changes all the time, by the way. All right. So let's
really?
go ahead and
Because
let's
are you
show
firing
results on this.
people? You say it changes. You're firing.
So far, no. So far, growing. Thing,
Hiring.
yeah.
Can I join your company? And then I will say, once I joined, 1 year later, the Getida kind of sides down 2 times, became 2 times smaller.
Because we hired you. Yeah. Makes sense.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
So let's show results. So the results are
Ooh,
in-
evenly
Oh,
split. Wow.
Nice
I
split.
think it's
Wow.
135. 135.
So the correct answer, as of I think yesterday it was, is 128. So it's 128 is the correct
Oh.
answer. So if you got that correct, which some people did, congratulations. And that might have changed even today. We're hiring people all the time. So
I think we
it's
just hired
great.
Augustus, so we're 129.
129.
with the whole
So everybody
family
was wrong.
And he's dead.
135.
130. And he's dead. 130.
All right, let's keep this going. We got more to go here, but I hope everybody's enjoying this. Let's go ahead and go. Last chance. Again, you don't need to re-sign up. If you're already signed up, you don't need to re-sign up. If anybody missed signing up, this is your last chance. Literally, I'm going to give you like a 10 seconds here just to do it, to jump back in. You'll be 1 question short. But as you notice, not a lot of people got that first question right. We have 2 more fun questions coming up. And 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going on. Here we go. Next question. Trivia question number 2. What is the average profit margin of Amazon sellers? Average profit margin of Amazon sellers.
60
So we're gonna
seconds.
put-
Go.
Yep, here we go. It's on the clock. Again, if you're not sure, just guess. It's not going to count against you if you get the wrong answer. Let's put it that way. It's definitely not going to count against you. What is the average profit margin of Amazon sellers? Is it 1 to 9%, 4 to 15, 7 to 18, 11 to 19, 15 to 16, or 18 to, I can't see, it's 20 something. So pick one of those. And we got 4 answers in. Time's running out. We will be not extending time on this one. We gave you a little extra on the last
net.
one.
Somebody's asking net. Yeah, what's the net margins? Yeah, after everything's said and done, what is the average profit margin?
Profit
Put
margins
all
of
them
Amazon
sellers
sellers.
together. What's the average profit margin? Net.
Yep.
After all the headaches. After you paid.
So yeah, somebody asked net. So we're talking about net. Yes, correct. Again, if you're not sure, just guess. We are getting low on time here.
This is after you paid selling fees, PPC, your VAs, parking tickets, all these things. All these things you need to pay for to create your business. 5, 4, 3, 2. Just guess it. Just guess it. 1. All right.
And close.
Voting is closed.
So the correct answer is 15 to 26%, which is great margins. I mean, that's good margins.
Most people got it.
Most people got it.
Yeah.
It's probably their margin
That is
anyway. They're
really
in that
good.
margin line, so most people got it correctly.
That is true. That is true. And again, if you're not selling on Amazon or you're just getting started and your margins are say under that or over that, definitely if you're over that, that's great. I would keep doing it. But if you're under that, you can look at different tools or services or ways to try to save money, make extra money, look at, maybe bringing on new products or getting rid of products that aren't selling so well. We just gave examples of ways. Repurposing. We just gave example of. All right. Last question. We want to keep this moving. Very last question is trivia question number 3 and final question. How many Amazon sellers under survey said that Amazon directly sells and competes with their product? So this was a survey that was done. And in that survey, they did a poll. And within that poll, they asked sellers, how many of you basically feel that Amazon directly sells and competes with your product, their product that they're selling? So is it 19,
Let me help here with 25? The stats a little. So they did a big survey of 3,500 sellers. From these sellers, 35 sellers, how many of them pretty much said that Amazon directly competes with them? So the countdown is on. Let's expand the screen so we can look at the answers, the potential answers. Was it 90% of the sellers, 25%, 34, 47, 50, 64, 70, 83%? How many of them said that Amazon directly sells and competes with their product? Now, not the account, not the category, the ASIN, the product. Okay, just to clarify on that. You want to add something?
That was a cool article too. I mean, there was a lot more in that article when we were reading about it. So there was a lot of good information in there. But this was one of the things that was asked that they did a poll, and we were like, "Wow, this is really interesting information on how many people."
I think we should do another question here to ask our audience how many of them say that Amazon's competing with them or not. See if it matches the
put that in the comments section. How many? Just say yes or no. Put a yes or no.
Yeah, you put in the comments, does Amazon compete on your product level? Sell doesn't compete on your ASIN or your product level? Yes or no on the chat. It will be nice to kind of compare.
Or you feel they do.
Yeah, 6, 5, 4, 3. Just guess it. You're not sure? Just guess it and click. 1, boom.
All right. The correct answer. Whoops,
Let's see the answer before you mention it. Let's
the correct answer was 50%. Sorry. So the correct answer was 50%.
So a lot of people got it.
That's pretty high. 50% of the people that were surveyed felt that Amazon directly sells or competes with their product. So interesting information there. Thanks everybody for joining in on the trivia. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to get together the information again as we move on with the presentation. I'll try to get us a winner and be able to make that announcement here a little bit later. But the person that will definitely try to get your name up on the screen, and we'll be reaching out to get you that $150 Amazon gift card. Thanks everyone for participating. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so people are saying that, and the audience saying that Amazon's also directly competes with the product. Yeah. But here's one I want you to kind of keep in mind regarding that question is those who were in the survey said that Amazon directly competes with them said eventually it wasn't a problem for them because they were able to so what they realized with the data and the research is that the price is not the only thing. A lot of consumers, they look for the product differentiation, packaging, branding, and stuff like that. So the sellers, even though 50% of them, Amazon competes with them directly, they're doing great business on Amazon and they're thriving and it's all good. So do not let that get you down in any way. It is what it is. It's okay. Just stay focused on what makes you unique, what makes you different, valuable. By the way, it could be that you, because of that, you have such a good product and it's so valuable, it just has, let's say, more reviews. If your product has 10,000 reviews and Amazon's products have 2,000 reviews, you're gonna do very well on the platform. And you're doing it because you have a really good value. So even if your product is more expensive, that's okay. There's a way to win, even if Amazon directly sells and competes with you. That is what the kind of the survey showed. So it kind of shows two things: the big impact that Amazon has on keeping the market competitive, which is a good thing for consumers, but at the same time giving the opportunity for third-party sellers, small businesses, to compete, be effective, be valuable, and still make a good amount of money and a good amount of margin, as we showed in the questions. Remember, the margins were 15 to, what was it, 26%? So that's a
15 to
pretty,
26.
yeah, that's a pretty
Yep.
healthy location to live in. And that is kind of the synopsis on what's going on right now in the body, inside the body of the activity of selling and being an Amazon seller. So hopefully you enjoy these data points, understand a bit more what the value of it, what it all means, but also play a game. And whoever won the money, congratulations.
And the trivia winner we will announce in probably 10-15 minutes during the next part, which will be all about Getida. We will learn how Getida's platform functions and how you can get automated, semi-auto. Of course, Getida is not only automation system. They have real people working and getting reimbursements for you. And I wanted to remind that you can always visit the link below in the description, which gives you $400 of free reimbursements. Getida will not charge any fee for that. It's free money, especially if you have never done Amazon reimbursements. Or even if you did with another service provider, I think it's always advisable. Getida says like they will still find money for you. And those who are commenting during this extensive, in-depth workshop, you have a possibility to win in another 1,000 free reimbursements. So if you're a new client, you will get 1,000. If you're existing one, they will match your previous free bonus reimbursements to 1,000. And we will be choosing the winners, a couple of winners very soon, maybe within 30, 45 minutes. And for that, to qualify, please ask questions about Getida and about the presentation you see on the screen. And now let's move on to the third part, Getida's demo.
Set me on fire, raising the ash. Can you let me on?
All right, good. So welcome everybody to the Getida demo dashboard. So high level, when you log in, I just actually before we talk into that, so once again, Getida, our mission is to make sure that FBA sellers get the maximum refunds that they're eligible to receive. So typically when you connect to Getida, we're able to go back 18 months on all the transactions, find the issues. Then we have a dedicated team of specialists. This team will open cases for you guys and they will manage all the back and forth until there's a resolution, until they solve the issue. But all that work is translated in real time to a dashboard. So a dashboard gives you a few things. One of them is visibility of what's going on. We're going to show you in a minute. And then there's two features and tools that you can use that if you use them, we're going to get you even more money. So in other words, just like that, when you connect to Getida, we're going to get you all this money back that you never had access to before, which is great. But if you use the platform and you use these tools, we're going to be able to get you even more. So we do encourage that. So let's share the screen again and let's get right into it. All right. So as you log into Getida, it's automatically going to show you the past 30 days. So today we're recording this live on August 4th, but you'll see this is from July 4th. You see that we opened 54 cases in this account. Success rate was 100%. We got over $1,000 in reimbursements. Over here, it gives you kind of an insight of how much money and discrepancies we're still reviewing. Okay, so we found $20,000 worth of deficits, issues that we're looking into. As we look deeper and deeper into those things, if they're eligible for opening a case, we'll open a case. So the cases will open here. You'll see what's going on. But if they're not eligible, we're going to deduct them. So this number will go lower and up or down and all around. It keeps on changing because more information comes in. We review it. If we fix it, it will be entered as a reimbursement. But if it's not eligible, we'll deduct it. So this number will come down. It just gives you an overview of kind of the progress that we're making on your account. But of course, you can always go back in a few months and see what's going on. We can go, let's say, to the beginning of the year, see what happened here with this account. Let's take a quick look. All right, so 473 cases were open, 98% success rate. We got them more than $10,000 back. And you see all the cases IDs, the status got reimbursed, how much got reimbursed, what was the date. And then any of these cases that it's related to a shipment, you'll be able to find here. So let's go back a little bit more. Let's go to the past 18 months on this account from August to like January of last year. Let's see what it picks up for us. So it gives you more visibility. So this is the demo account, but it's actually based on real numbers and a real account. So 1,832 cases were open, 87% success rate, more than $76,000 got reimbursed. Okay. If it's related to a shipment, you'll see that there's going to be a shipment ID. Okay, so it gives you visibility at least also on the shipments. So that's high level overview of the dashboard. That's fine, right? The second module we have here is called inbound shipments. Now this is really cool feature that can save you a lot of time and can help you also recover a lot of money. So give me 1 second. Let me refresh the page again. Hold on. There we go. So the red line is processing. Let's see if it uploads it. I hope it does. Let's give another moment. Okay, it is what it is. All right, in any case, on the bottom, when you scroll down, you're going to be able to see how much money there's more to recover with shipments. So if you scroll all the way down, you'll see the claimable shipments that require attention and documents are $24,000 worth. So remember earlier when we talked about POD, proof of delivery, and POP? This basically shows you, if you click it, you'll download a spreadsheet. It will tell you all the shipments that need a POD, proof of delivery. And just to remind you, everybody, a POD, proof of delivery, is typically a BOL, a bill of lading, that has a stamp of approval. Okay, so this is a major shortcut. Instead of going to Sell Essential and to the shipment log and it's checking each and every shipment, can take you hours, days, months, a lot of time. Instead of that, boom, you can just log into the dashboard and see it all here. Okay, now it's finally loaded. If you also look on top here, it'll show you the breakdown of each shipment, okay, and the value of each shipment, so you can also prioritize. So once again, instead of going to Sell Essential and trying to find the shipment and what was missing, what's the value of it, will take you forever. Instead of that, you can just log into Getida, boom, it's a shortcut, your team can use it. You can use it, your VA, your team members, will save you a tremendous amount of hours and pain. So it's a shortcut, so you can take care of yourself if you want to take care of yourself. But of course, if you want us to take care of it, so for example, if you want us to give us the PODs or the proof of deliveries, you just send it to us. You can download this file to know what they are. And if you want to do a POP, proof of purchase, you see 181 shipments in a proof of purchase. So once again, if you have invoices, just send them to us. We'll take care of it. But if you are a private label seller with brand registry, instead of an invoice, you don't need to give an invoice. You can give them a packing slip. And if you want to give them a packing slip, we have a tool. It's called DocMaster. We have a patent on it. Then you can just log into it, and boom, if it's a few clicks, you'll be able to set up the packing slips and give it to us. And it's gonna also save you a lot of time and money. Let's see if I can log into it. By the way, let's see. Okay, as you log into DocMaster, as you can see, right away you see all the shipments that need to be that needs a packing slip, and it's organized by the ones that are about to expire, all the way down to the shipments that have more time. Okay, so all you got to do is click into the shipment. It's already going to have, when you onboard to Getida and you do your setup, it's already going to have all your company information. It's going to have all the shipment information. And you just click on create packing slip and boom, you're done. Okay, that's kind of the idea here. So eventually it's going to look beautiful like that, all professional, exactly the way Amazon wants to see it. So the point, hold on, I'm trying to make here is, how do I get to out of the full screen? I forgot. Give me a second, guys. I forgot how to get out of the full screen. All right, let's exit full screen. Okay, right click. I got it. I think I got it. Okay, so remember how we have 181 shipments here? Imagine how long it will take you to create or find 181 PDF files. It'll take you forever. Instead of that, you can just log into DocMaster. It will probably take you 15 minutes to generate all these packing slips, and we're ready to go. Okay, so what we do recommend is once a month, you or your team member go into your Getida dashboard. You scroll all the way down, see all the shipments that need documentation, and of course, any of them needs packing slips. You just log into DocMaster, and boom, in a few moments, you got it on lockdown. This way, you never miss out on anything. You always reconcile all your shipments on a timely manner. You never lose out. You save a tremendous amount of time and aggravation, and you get paid. Because what happened is that over the years, we see that a lot of sellers, they go back, they're trying to find all these packing slips they created, they send it to Amazon. Amazon doesn't understand the data, and basically these cases get rejected. So you spend all this time, and time is money, and you paid your people money to do it. Eventually, you didn't get what's yours, which is a reimbursement. Instead of that, you log into DocMaster, you save a tremendous amount of time, and you get the type of document that it's exactly the way Amazon wants to see it. It took us years of experience and understanding and investment to see how exactly Amazon wants to understand the data, which is typically this way. Okay, and then it makes it much easier to reconcile everything and move forward with less friction. Okay, so this is the inbound shipment module. So it can save you a lot of time and money, and I do recommend looking into that. And the second feature here is the pick and pack feature, or the fulfillment fees audit module, where let's say you have just a few ASINs, so you'll be able to go in and manually update the information. So the length here, instead of being, let's say, 19 inches, maybe it's only 7 inches, and then it's the width, instead of 15 inches, only maybe 9 inches, and the height is only maybe 3 inches. So you can update it like that. And the weight, you see the weight is says here it's like 18 pounds. Instead of 18 pounds, it's actually only 9 pounds. You can update that and click save. And if you click save, you trigger our system to run an audit. And of course, if we see that you're being overcharged with fees, or the fees that they're charging you are not in your favor, we're going to take action. And in this action, we need to achieve two things. The first thing is, of course, to update the data, so going forward, Amazon stops overcharging you. So enjoy all the savings going forward, or we stop the bleeding, right? And the second thing is looking back to the past 3 months or 90 days and get you all these refunds. Okay, that's kind of the two things we got to figure out and do for you. And so if you have just a few units, you can do manually. But of course, if you have a big catalog and a lot of ASINs, you can do it in bulk. You could just click on export table. Okay, and then you can upload the file and boom. So once again, high level overview of the dashboard. In the dashboard, you can see all the stuff that we're doing, all the work we're doing. In the inbound shipment module, you have the tools to reconcile the shipments and provide documentation and DocMaster if you need packing slips. And the pick and pack module, you provide us with more data. Okay, and we'll be able to run more audits. So with these two modules, you engage with it and you get even more recoveries. Okay, more impact. Because once again, our mission is to make sure that sellers get the maximum refunds that they're eligible to receive, but it's all data driven. So whatever we have enough data for, we'll take action. Whatever we need your engagement, your involvement to add more data and give us the data that we need, we'll be able to give you even more and more value. And of course, if you have more stores, let's say you're an aggregator, you're buying a lot of Amazon businesses. So instead of having, like, let's say you bought 20 accounts, you have 20 Amazon brands. Instead of having 20 Getida logins, you can just have one Getida login and you'll be able to switch between the stores. So you can just add a new store, and then you can choose a marketplace. These are all the marketplaces that were available. So we have one login. You can be able to scroll between all the stores. And of course, if you want a different credit card for each store, you'll be able to set that up. Okay, sometimes each store is under a different brand or a different entity, a different LLC. That's fine. If you're an agency, okay, we work with a lot of agencies. We'll be able to have one login to all these accounts, and you can have a different credit card on each account. And of course, with the billing, we bill once a month. So once every 30 days, we send you a statement. So you'll be able to log into the billing location here. You'll be able to download the statement with the monthly activity of all the stuff we took care of it for you. And then, of course, when there's a payment, you're gonna be able to download an invoice as a PDF file to give it to your billing, department, anything like that. If you want to refer a seller, you can log in and get a special code. We'll give us $50 statement credit. You got FAQ, frequently asked questions. And that's kind of the high level overview of the Getida platform and dashboard. Okay. I want to kind of remind you that we won the gold award for this dashboard because effectively what we did, we bridged the human and the digital, because behind the scenes, there's a whole team working for you, right? And there's a whole army of people working for you. We actually know the number, it's about 128 people, but all that work is translated in real time to a dashboard. Okay, so you see in real time what's going on, and that's kind of innovation in the industry that we're in, the FBA reconciliation, FBA auditing niche and industry. So this is how the dashboard feels and looks like. So that was a quick demo tour. Any questions that I want me to address or consider here, Augustus or Lisette? Let me know.
So let's see. We have lots of questions. Antonio is asking, is it possible to change the pick and pack interface to metric system instead of imperial? All my measurements are in centimeters.
So I think this is more of a Sell Essential question. I think it's Sell Essential. You'll be able to do that. When you set that up, Amazon and the template, you'll be able to do that. And once it's set up on Amazon like that, then we'll be able to kind of go over here. So you see, for an example, in the US, this product here, in the US, it's based on inches. But in Mexico, as you can see, it's based on centimeters. So it all depends how you set up on Amazon, and then you'll be able to overview it here on the Getida dashboard, because we get all this information through API from Amazon, and the setup is not on our system, it's an Amazon system. So for each marketplace, for each ASIN that you have, make sure you do it on the right way so you don't confuse anything. Once you do it, I'm saying when you create the product initially, right? When you list the product, that's when you kind of set it all up. So if you set it in centimeters, it'll be in centimeters. If you set it up in inches or whatever, it'll be in inches. It is what it is. But make sure you have the correct data for whether it's centimeters and inches. Make sure you have the right number, digit, and then you can feed it to us, and we'll make sure it's on the right spot. So hopefully, Antonio, it made sense and it helped out.
Okay, we have another one from Antonio. You explained the refund and return scenarios. What about the orders not received by customers? Your service includes auditing these situations as well?
Yeah, so it falls in the same logic. What does that mean? A consumer bought something, they never got it. So Amazon refunded them, and because they never got it, they never shipped it back, and Amazon never got it. Same idea, are now refunded, not returned. So you need to give 45 days for that to happen. And in 45 days, if Amazon automatically did not recover you or refund you or reimburse you, then we'll take care of that and you're good. It's the same idea, no worries.
All right. Let's see what else we have. How often do you do any of audits monthly? What's the best practice? It's like general question.
Yeah, so in general for yourself, make sure you do these audits on time. Whatever the category and the time limitation is, make sure you do it on time. In our world, we just do it daily. Every day we go into your account, we check everything. And typically when you connect to Getida, there's two phases. Phase one is we go back 18 months and we kind of clean everything. Okay, anything that was left behind, we touch that, we pick it up, and we bring it back to your pocket, all this value. That's phase one. This can typically take us up to 90 days. Depends on the volume of the account, depending on how many problems we find. So it can be up to 90 days. That's phase one. And then it goes to phase two. So, kind of month by month, we actually check it daily, and all these things that are fresh, they just come in and they're eligible for reimbursement. We take care of that. So you're always kind of on time. And so internally, we just work for you, all day, every day, 24/7. We clean it up as you come in past 18 months, and as it's all cleaned up and it's up to date, as the issues come in, day to day, month to month, we take care of that for you. So hopefully, Angelito or Angelito, this provides the answer.
Perfect. And one more question about your services. If Amazon reverse reimbursement after they found the lost product in the warehouse, will Getida also reverse the charges?
Yeah, so we do it twice a year. We do adjustments. So just the logic of the reversals, it's a little bit tricky. I'll try to simplify it. There's four kind of elements. One is that Amazon reversed it from cash to inventory. So they refunded you or they reimbursed you $100, but then they take that away, and instead of that, they give you a product back. It's inventory, and it's worth $100. That's still a recovery, because if we look at in terms of accounting on a balance sheet, there's two types of assets. There's cash, there's inventory. So at the end of the day, on the balance sheet, you have a recovery. It's fine. It's all good. So that's one of reversal. It could be also the opposite. They started with an inventory. They take that, what's worth $100. They take it back, and then they give you cash instead. So these are two types of reversals. Okay. So these type two reversals on the balance sheet level is still a positive. There's no change, no effect for us. But the other two is, of course, when they give you $100 and now it's zero, and then didn't give you anything in return on the balance sheet, boom, it's a zero. And the same thing with inventory. They might give you an inventory reimbursement, then they took that and never gave you anything else. So these two scenarios, yes, on the balance sheet level, you lost the asset. So twice a year, we do an adjustment and we give that back to you, of course.
Perfect. And I wanted to maybe remind everyone that thank you for all your great questions, those which are not answered yet. We will answer very soon in the Q&A section. We still talk about Getida a little bit. And now let's announce the trivia winner from the previous trivia, which ended about 20 minutes ago. So, Rob, who is the winner? You calculated everything, right?
Yeah, so I went through, and once again, we had one person get 3 out of 3 correct. This time, though, we had several people get 2 out of 3, which was great. So the winner actually of trivia number 2 for $150 Amazon gift card from Getida is Susan Thompson. Congratulations, Susan. We will definitely be reaching out to you and getting a hold of you to get you that $150 Amazon gift card. And if you're watching this video after, please still put a comment or hit us up directly, and we'd be happy to answer anything, and hit that like and subscribe. Let's not forget that.
And we continue talking about Getida, but first let's clap to the winner. I think she's clapping in the video too slow. I think it was slow-mo.
I think it was slow-mo for dramatic
Yoni,
effect.
you're muted. That's why we see you slow-mo.
Okay. That's why. Okay.
All right. Next, what do we have?
What's on the menu, guys? What's next on the
What's
menu?
on the menu? I think we still have a few slides about Getida, right? Am I right?
So yeah, we're getting close to another kind of slide here, which I guess we wanted to, that now that we saw the dashboard, now we can kind of hit another case study here. and show you guys the bottom line. What does this all mean? All the impacts of, or the positive impact of maximizing all the reimbursements that you're eligible to receive. So let's take this case study over here real quick, okay? This is a case study of an $18 million seller. And in 1 year, they sold about 300,000 units. In this case, 318,515 units. Not almost 9,000 units got affected, or more correctly, 8,954 units got affected with all the issues. Got lost, damaged, destroyed, disappeared, overcharged with fees, all these crazy elements. About 8,954 units, which puts it on the higher edge of the spectrum. Remember how I said on an annual basis it could be 1 to 3%. In this case, it's 2.81%. Okay. And then Getida will help recover $151,172.59. Okay, this is kind of what we're able to recover in our audit in the past 18 months. What's really cool is helped boost and increase the bottom line by almost 11%. It was by 10%, 90.92. Okay, and why? Because before Getida, the profit was 1.3 million. $1,384,794.25. I'm just trying to be like an accountant today, being on the penny. So that was the original kind of profit, and then we added $151,000, and then boom, all of a sudden it increased to 1.5 million, which in percentage points, it's almost 11% boost at the bottom line, which is really impactful because imagine 1% from revenue. If you get that back into your pocket, gives you a really big lift. So let's say you know you do 100,000 a year in profit for the year and you did $1 million in sales, right? So we got 100, you got 1% back, that's $10,000. You add $10,000 to 110,000 in profit, boom, your profit grew by 10%. So any percentage from the top that you get, it really nicely trickles down to the bottom. So financially, we're trying to show you the impact of positive reimbursements. And then there's a few more layers of positive impacts. Okay, one layer is if you're trying to sell your Amazon business, because it's very trendy in the past few years to be able to sell your Amazon business. They have a lot of aggregators who raise a lot of money, and the way that they buy you is they pay you a multiple for your EBITDA, for your profits, basically. So if you make $1 million in profits, they say we're going to give you 5x multiple for your profit for $1 million. So they're going to pay you $5 million and they're going to cash you out and you're going to leave. It could be 5x, it could be 3x, it could be 7x. It's all based on your negotiation. Okay. But let's say you got 5x in this example. So if you're able to make one decision, use Getida for example, we go back 18 months and we flush you back with $151,000 and you're about to sell your business. So this $151,000, all of a sudden you time it by 5, boom, you get $750,000 extra in your pocket on the way out when you're trying to sell your business. So financially, this is a really smart decision to be able to optimize and maximize your profits and maximize your exit. On the flip side, if you're buying an Amazon business, which a lot of the aggregators did in the past few years, they're very smart. You sold them the business, or you bought the business, whoever sold you the Amazon business failed to recover all the refunds that they're eligible to get, and you're able to squeeze out $151,000. Boom, you have a really good ROI, return on investment. Okay, so it depends which side you are on the map. Make sure you make the right decisions to get the maximum impact financially speaking. So these are all these layers. But if you're really kind of thinking about selling, or you have or you really want to be able to structure your business to be maximum in impact, financial impact, and make the maximum profit, consider consulting a specialist. One specialist that we're aware of, we see them across the years, they do a pretty nice job, is Northbank Group. Okay, so if you want to learn more about them, just visit getida.com/mbg, which is Northbank Group, or just scan this code. What they're really, really good at is making sure that when you kind of consult with them, they'll understand what are you trying to do on the marketplace, what kind of product you're trying to sell, what kind of categories, what are the margins you're getting, what are the margins you should be expecting, how you kind of handle all the bookkeeping, all the finances. They kind of arrange everything in such a good way so you understand what you're doing, so you're going to be able to very, very successfully manage your business, so you have a good business. So even if you manage this business for the next 30 years, that's a really good position to be in. So you have a really healthy, good business for the next 30 years. But of course, because you have such a good, healthy business, you're also very, very good candidate to be bought because you have a really good asset. So if you want to ever sell out, right, or make an exit, you'll get a good result. So consulting with a specialist really helps you put you in the right set mentally, but also financially and bookkeeping wise and everything. I can't say I cannot recommend it enough to really be able to understand what a truly valuable Amazon business means. So these consultants can really help you figure that out. So feel free to kind of reach out to them and try that out if you want.
This giveaway.
So let's pick up a few questions, see if we can flush some of those out. So it
Yeah,
gives you
okay.
more time to kind of figure out the winners of the free credits, but also give our time some time for our guests to come in and join us so we can figure that out. Let's do it.
So Lisette, which
Okay,
one
let's
we take?
take some of the questions then. Rebecca is saying, thank you so much for insightful session. My question is, if I received excess inventory, should I investigate it? For instance, I sent 10 items and when Amazon received, they saw 13 items.
Yes. So if you knew that you sent extra units, you should tell me, yes, I sent extra units. So they're not going to hold that against you in case there's another shipment that's missing units. But of course, it's totally by surprise. You have no idea what's going on. Tell them to research it, investigate. And it might be sometimes what it's called overages. When they're scanning, you know how they have these scanners and they scan really fast. Sometimes these scanners, they double scan the same barcode very, very quickly. So they, instead of really scanning 10 units, they scan 13 because one of them or a few of them, they scanned like double. So it's called virtual overages. It's just because, don't forget, all these units are being received by people with like guns, right? Like these laser guns. Ta, 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 ta. So when they do it, much like the supermarket, if you sometimes see in the supermarket that you're trying to buy these cups and you hear like ta-tak, right? That scan, and all of a sudden you hear that noise again, ta-tak, it means they're double charging you for the same product. So you probably stop everything and tell them, hey, do a little minus on that extra that noise, that little scan. But in the same example, that's what's happening when Amazon's receiving inventory where they're using these barcodes and it happens very quickly. So they might be scanning a few times. So yeah, you can tell them to investigate and research. They'll go to the bin, really see that there's really only 10 units and not 13. And that's the best way to go. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Antonio is asking about pick and pack audit. So do you need a visual proof of dimensions to claim fees discrepancies, for example, photos showing weight and dimensions?
Yeah, very, very good question. So typically not. Typically not. What happens is when you find the discrepancy, you tell Amazon, the information. What Amazon usually does, they run a bin check and they run a one dimension check and they do that. And then, of course, they see that they had the wrong information. Everything starts to be corrected. But if they don't, if they run everything and they say, hey, we didn't find an issue, that's when you can use it. That's when you can basically provide them with additional evidence. Say, hey, I'm the manufacturer, I'm the private label. Here's the images of the product with tape measure, so you see exactly the weight and dimensions. And also here's an image of the product on a scale, so you can see what the weight is. And that is when you're going to need it. In other words, you might need it in the case of escalation if for whatever reason the normal routes or traditional routes are not working out. So hopefully
Yoni,
this is helpful, Antonio. Yeah.
A follow-up question to that, because not being a seller, but if I were one, I would think, okay, well then why wouldn't I just go on ahead and provide that visual proof up front? Is there any benefit to giving that early, or is that going to gum up the works and trying to get these
I
resolved?
mean, no, you could. It's just that it's a hassle for you. You have to, for every ASIN that you have, you're gonna have to take images like that and store it somewhere and have it handy. If you could do it anyways. It's just it could be, in other words, it could be overkill. But if you want to overkill, you're a killer. By all means, it's a jungle. They do call it Amazon, right?
That's true.
No
All
problem. Yeah.
right, let's do a giveaway. As I said many times, those who commented with questions, watch the content, ask questions about Getida, about the content Getida taught us today, you are entering into $1,000 free reimbursements giveaway. There will be several winners. So let's do for the first time right now. Let me share the screen. So window, let me find the stream quick.
Meanwhile, I will jump in and say if you're still with us and you have been enjoying staying with us for the past couple of hours, then definitely like this video and also subscribe to our Orange Klik YouTube channel. From our channel, you will also find other videos we have already recorded with Getida in the past, and definitely we will have new videos coming up in the future as well.
All right, here we have, let me a little bit make a smaller this screen. So we have, almost 30 questions during this live stream, which is nice. And I will now take all these names. So you can still keep asking questions. We will still answer all the questions. And we will do a new drawing very soon as well. But soon we will find the first winner. So I'm copying all these names and I'm going to the wheel of names online. I'm entering them, and
I think some of them might be duplicates though. So
yeah,
what you
it's
want to do
good.
that? It's
So
okay.
no,
Yeah. The
it's
more you
good
do it, the more
because
chances you have to win.
yeah,
Got it.
the more
Yeah,
you
smart.
ask, yeah, it's all good. So Antonio
There
was
we
active,
go.
Jamie. So now let's see. Let's where do we have to press? Click
Wheel
to spin.
of
Yay!
Fortune.
Yeah, let's see. So the
Too much
winner,
Las Vegas.
the name which we see, gets $1,000 reimbursements. Sunny Girl.
Woo!
Yes.
You got to
So
deduct
here we
it.
go. Now, what does Sunny Girl get? Get someone from Getida, please explain. And also, if she is existing customer, how does it work?
You get a brand new car, a brand new home,
All
a brand new
right, all right.
station
I
say,
to go to
no,
park.
no, wait.
No,
Don't say
no,
that on
wait.
video.
Oh, delete, reset. So congratulations, Sunny
I am
Girl.
the winner then.
Now you're gonna fill up your name. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. We're gonna get you $1,000 in free reimbursements. Just to remind you, it's free to join Getida. It's free to stay with Getida. There's no subscription. There's no monthly fees or anything like that. We'll only charge a fee based on recovery. So you're gonna get $1,000 in free reimbursements, which is a guarantee. It might take us a few days, a few weeks, a few months to get you $1,000, but hopefully you have an extra $1,000 in your pocket after we're gonna get you all these refunds. After $1,000, if you want to leave us, you can leave. If you want to stay, you can stay. It's fine with us. The mission here is really with this whole live event is to empower you, give you the enough resources and information to be better at your business and more successful. And of course, if we can also help you with the refunds, we'll be happy to do so. Refunds and money is very, very useful. We found out over the years that people can do a lot of things with money. They can have better businesses when they have access to money. So it's really, really helpful. So $1,000 hopefully will help out as well.
Let me
Quick
jump in
question.
real quick.
Yeah,
Let me jump in real quick. Sandy Girl, it's Sandy, by the way. Sandy Girl was also the winner of our second trivia. So Sandy Girl is doing really well today. Congratulations,
cool.
Susan. And we'll be getting hold of you on both of those.
And in case Sunny Girl is already a customer, what happens then? How do you match?
So if you got credits in the past, let's say you got $400 because you clicked the orange click offer back in the day. So if you already got $400 and we'll give you $600. So all in you'll have $1,000. So we'll credit you the difference. We'll add it and feed it to your account. Not a problem.
Perfect. And a question for Getida. If I made 1,000 purchases on Amazon and now I want to refund, do you help with that?
Well, what happened?
Made
Like
1,000
purchased,
purchases on Amazon.
Lots of.
We don't help with
purchases.
that.
I
You can
don't
call
know.
Amazon customer service. They definitely can help with that.
We're here to help sellers.
I mean, I can just tell you, well, you can call them and hopefully that's helpful, but they'll be able to help you with refunds and stuff like that.
All right. So let's take a few more questions, Lisette.
Yeah, we do have very good questions here lined up. So let's take Trevor's question next. So is there a way to check storage fees?
Yeah, you should be able to see it in the payment reports. In the payment reports, you look for the fees that you pay to FBA. I think one of them should say monthly storage fees or fee adjustment, FBA. And that's a better way to be able to see how much you paid in the fee. Yeah. So that's how much you paid in the fee. If you want to see the breakdown of it, you should be able to see it in the, I think, fee preview also, the one that we showed earlier. But if you're still struggling to find it, make sure after this event to reach out to me or our team will be able to give you more scientific answer on the exact report or inside the report the exact position. But good question, Trevor. Very, very good question.
Good. So Daniela is asking, how can we track to which fulfillment center was returned the product when refunded?
Yeah, you should be able to see it in the customer returns report that we showed earlier. It should be there, I believe. You have the order ID, the fulfillment ID or fulfillment center ID. Usually it's in acronyms. You should be able to find it as well. So I'll tell you which order came to which fulfillment center. It should be there as well.
Okay. So we have one interesting question about coupon campaigns. So Adil set up coupon campaign on Amazon for a product budgeted with $500 total, and Amazon spent $1,500 instead. So can they ask for Amazon for the reimbursements?
So just to clarify, this is not an FBA related issue. This is a coupon related issue or promo code related issue. So it's not really our area of specialty. But if I understand everything kind of correctly, if you set some sort of a budget for promos and credits for 500 and they really triple that, yeah, just open a case, explain to them, provide all the data as much as you can and as much with the most utmost accuracy level that you can. And yeah, if they see that there was really an error here, they should be able to credit you that. And if you see they don't really understand what you wrote down and everything, you just call them, give them that case ID, say it's regarding this case ID. I want to explain to you in in words what's going on. Even show them where to go in the system to show them what kind of happened with the setup or the fees, and they should be able to credit you. Yeah, it's not free to try because you're gonna invest time, and time is money. You, your team. So, but there's no cost of actual cost of Amazon doesn't charge you a fee to open a case. So if you have the data correctly, and it's very clear and it's very obvious, yeah, just present it to them, be professional about it, and go for it.
Okay, so we have a question from Sunny Girl. I just ran payments report and it says not more than 366 days. So wasn't able to run the
So
report
run it
for
in two
18 months.
batches. So take the past 365 days, and then take the prior 6 months, right? So for example, today is August 4th. So today until last year, take that report like that, but then go to August 4th of last year, all the way 6 months to February of last year, for example, just to make it simple. In other words, take it in two chunks and then put it all together, if it makes sense. Yeah, sometimes unfortunately with the system with Sale Essential, it's kind of wonky. Sometimes you can always take it in batches, and it is what it is. So you take it in pieces.
Okay, so CJ is asking about POD. What is appropriate for DTP shipment?
If you could just give us the acronym of the DDP just to make sure that I get it correctly, I'll appreciate it. I'm not 100% sure, but typically just to align it and make it straightforward.
DDP, YONI, is delivered duties paid.
So it's okay.
It's a
So
difference.
yeah, that's yes. When you do global logistics stuff like that, so
Yeah.
less of an issue if it's all paid for and there's no interruptions there. It's all good, and eventually, because I'll just give us a simple example: you're shipping from China all the way to a fulfillment center in the U.S. So this is global logistics. It's gonna run with all these imports and exports conditions. It's all good, but eventually it's gonna hit Amazon's fulfillment center, and when it hits Amazon's fulfillment center, it will basically your bill of lading will get stamped as delivered in the fulfillment centers, and that's where you need to kind of show them if they ask for it. So keep in mind, guys, that regarding PODs or proof of deliveries, if you use Amazon's partners carriers or Amazon AGL or Amazon Global Logistics, they're not going to require you to provide them with the POD or proof of delivery. They're only going to ask you for a POD or proof of delivery if you're using outside Amazon's partner carriers. So statistically speaking, that we see that 80% of the sellers use Amazon's partner carriers, so they don't have to really bother with it. The other 20% they use outside carriers, and that's when Amazon kind of comes in and provide and asks them to provide this type of documentation information so they can reconcile the shipments properly. So hopefully that's kind of helps out. What about appropriate for a DDP shipment? No problem. Once again, this is not the issue there. It's really just Amazon stamping your shipment as delivered. That's when you want to show them. Once again, if you got stuck regarding the import-export issues and never got delivered and it's partnered by Amazon, you'll be able to discuss that with Amazon to get a resolution. But if it's outside Amazon, you're going to have to talk to your global logistics provider and file a claim there, insurance claim, whatever it is, because it never reached its destination. So you got lost, whatever it happens, that can also happen with global logistics.
Okay, thank you. So another one, we have a new product for launch. The dimensions fall into small standard size tier, but when I check the listing and manage inventory, the FBA fee is for large standard size. So can it be changed?
One second, let me see. So we have a new product for launch. Dimensions fall in the small standard size, but when I check listing management inventory, the FBA fee is for large candidate. Yeah. So this is exactly what we're talking about. So if they have the incorrect winning dimensions, so all of a sudden they're going to change your tier from small standard size to all of a sudden large standard size. And because of that, guess what? They're charging you more with fees. So you got to fix that, correct that. So that's basically the tier structures. That's the naming of it. I didn't want to overcomplicate, but that's the naming of these tiers. Yeah, if you are in the wrong tier and they're overcharging you because of that, yeah, reach out, tell them to investigate, and run the winning dimensions to see what's the correct information, so they can fix that. And of course, if that doesn't work, provide them with further evidence, like pictures of the product with the dimensions with the tape measure, and then another picture with the product on a scale, so you can see the weight.
And I wanted to remind again that we will be drawing another winner of 1,000 FBA reimbursements. Shall we do it? How many?
Hey, Augustus, real quick. So
Yeah.
just so everybody knows, everybody could be a winner today. They just have to head over to Getida.com/Klik, KLIK, and get that $400 in free FBA reimbursements. So even if you didn't win the 1,000 or the ones coming up, which you're still eligible for, definitely head over to Getida.com/KLIK and get that $400 in free FBA reimbursements.
Of course, Sunny Girl is not qualifying for the next giveaway again because she already won $1,000. So I will do the same what I did just a moment ago. I will share a screen with all the all the giveaways. Let me find the screen. So it's here.
Augustus is, hey, while you're looking for that, Augustus, if there's any other comments or questions or things you have, please put them in the comment section. We're happy to ask them. We do have a little bit more of this show to go. We got some special guests, but Augustus, go ahead.
Yeah, we're waiting for a special guest or a couple of guests. Meanwhile, here is the list of all other questions we got. I think we got a few more comparing to the list we had 15 minutes ago. So I'm copying all these names and I'm going again to the new wheel of names. I do hope that this website is functioning as it should be. It selects randomly everything. It's not created by us. So we have probably 30 entries. Let's spin the wheel, and the winner is
Antonio.
Finally, he was probably
got
the
lots
most
of good
active.
questions.
Yeah, just a matter of time,
So he was, he got the most amount of questions. Congratulations, Antonio. Are you still watching? Are you ready to get your prize? Tell us if you are already a customer of Getida or not. And all right, few more questions. Let's say I'm waiting for Antonio's. Hello, goodbye, thank you. But he's not writing. I hope he's still there. All right, the question. Let's take the question from Antonio then. For the POP documents, actually, I don't know what does it mean, this abbreviation. POP. Purchase order.
Proof of purchase.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. For the, can we read it?
Let's say I bought 10 units, but I only sent 3 and put the remaining 7 on hold. At inbound, there was 1 unit missing. Would Amazon accept my POP for 10 units instead of 3?
Yeah, no problem. So it's all simple math. So if you show them that you have 10 units and you ship 3 and 1 unit is missing, it's fine. So the document shows you bought 10, so you're good to go. Or you have 10, you ship 10. But if you ship 3 and 1 is missing, and you only give them a document that you either bought 1 unit or you ship 1 unit, then they'll tell you, yes, it's not. You got 2 units, you ship 1 unit. It doesn't make sense, and the math has to be very basic and simple. So in other words, if you have a POP document, it says you bought 10 units, you ship only 3, 1 is missing, you provide that, it's all good to go. And then when you ship the 7, and once again, one of them went missing, you can still use the same document. It's all good because all in, that accounts for the 10 units that you bought. And all in, you shipped 10 units. And one shipment, they missed 1 or lost 1. The other shipment, they lost 1. So they lost 2 all in. So only really got received 8 instead of 10. It's fine to use 1 document for these 2 shipments. Not a problem at all. Mathematically, all works out. Hopefully, this all makes sense.
Hey, Yoni. So Antonio's saying that they met us in Mexico City. So thank you, Antonio, for coming by and meeting us. That was awesome.
Gracias.
I'm glad you're joining in. Yeah.
Sí,
and he's already a customer of Getida. So if Antonio already got a few $100s of free reimbursements, Getida will match you to up to 1,000 additionally.
Yep.
All right.
Let's share the screen real quick because I guess one of the guests is already here. What we're gonna do is these are the guests that we have they're gonna join us one way or another today. I'm gonna provide a little bit of information of each one, unless Rob wants to help me or Lisa for any of these guests.
I can jump in if needed. Whatever you need.
Yeah. So So I'm thinking out loud for a second. All right, so I'll start with who they are, and then we'll show one of the videos of them, and then we'll show some other videos. So we'll start from left to right because we're in America. In other countries, you can start from right to left. But we're gonna have Kevin Sanderson joining with us today. Kevin Sanderson is an Amazon seller. He also has really cool conferences. He's going to expand more about it. So this has really good education and content that it's helpful for sellers to become better sellers. He's also happens to be, they're all Gatida users here. Everybody you see here are friends from the industry. They're all industry leaders in their own rights and reason. But they also happen to be using Getida. So we brought him to kind of provide the testimonials so they can tell you what their experience using Getida. So that Kevin Sanderson is hopefully going to be joining us soon. And we got Mina Elias. Mina Elias is originally from Egypt. He grew up in, I believe, in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. He migrated to the United States, I don't know, about a decade ago. And then he was really big into martial arts. So he started, he used to make his own powders to protein shake and stuff like that to build his muscle. And he started selling that in the gyms and worked great. So he started selling it on Amazon and boom, it worked even greater. So he became a 7-figure seller. And then he created a really cool, popular YouTube channel called PPC University because you're really good with PPC. Once again, he uses Getida. He's going to be joining us today as well. Really cool guy. We got Sumner Hobart. Okay, Sumner is married to Ali, and they both they're digital nomads. They travel the world. I believe they're also 7-figure sellers on Amazon, and that provides them the fact that they're on Amazon and they work digitally. They're enjoying the world. So they have a really cool YouTube channel. They have 2 YouTube channels. One of them is more about the Amazon, the whole experience. Another one is about traveling the world. So they go all these cool places. I believe right now they're in Chile in South America. So we'll see what they prepare for us. And then we got the king himself, Kevin King. Most of you probably know him. If you don't, Kevin King is kind of a legend. Of course, he's an Amazon seller, but he's also the creator of the Freedom Ticket courses, which is under the banner of Helium 10, which are our good partners. So he also uses Getida. He's also one of the founders of the BDSS, $1 Billion Sales Summit. It's a really cool conference and event that happens in Austin, Texas. He lives in Austin, Texas. He's a native. He's born and raised there. So he does a cool event every year there, but also does one online. That's when I believe I first met Augustus, right? Physically,
yes, exactly.
like 3-4 years ago. I saw a really tall gentleman with an exotic look. I'm like, oh,
hello.
I spoke to him in Hebrew. I think he knew my language, but he didn't. Yeah, so we spoke in English. We still do sometimes, but actually no, we spoke Spanish really quickly. We figured out.
And then I removed the shirt. No, I will not tell the rest of
I don't know if you removed the shirt, but I know you got a lot of shirts. We discussed it. So there's a lot of free shirts being given over there by all the sponsors. So he took a lot. It happens to be that I took a lot. So today we're still wearing these shirts. Every day a different shirt. We don't usually look like this in the office. We look differently. We usually have all these sponsor shirts from all these events.
Yeah, exactly.
Me and Augusta. So but anyways, Kevin King, he's the one who gave us. So that's a quick introduction to our guest today. Once again, all Amazon sellers, all industry leaders in their own rights and merits. Let's start with the first video from our friend
actually,
from California.
Kevin is Sanderson is there also. Shall we?
He's there. So I'm thinking we start. Start with before we bring our guest. We'll start with Mina's video. Start with that, and then we'll bring him in. Let's
okay, let's do it. Let me.
Getida recovers on average $10,000 a year for me that goes straight to my bottom line. Here's 3 reasons why I should use them. Number 1, they look at all of your inventory, anything lost, anything damaged by Amazon. They open up cases and they recover all of that. They don't take a fee of anything unless they recover it for you. So if they recover $10,000, they'll only take a cut of that. They don't recover anything, they won't take anything. Number 2, if Amazon miscategorizes any of your products and your fees change, so if it goes from $4 to $6, for example, they will open up cases and get all of that money back. Number 3, cancel shipments. Every time you cancel a shipment, you actually never get your money back from that shipment. They open up cases and they tell Amazon, please give us our money back. We don't want that shipment. And so many other ways that Getida can recover money for you. They only keep a part of what you get. So if you don't get anything, they don't get anything. They're incentivized to get you more so they can take a cut. And anything that you find, they let you keep and they'll find on top of that. Literally no way to lose.
All right, and here is
hire this guy.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Let's hire that guy.
Whoever did that video should be your new CMO.
Whatever it is, they have to be California based. I think it worked out. It's all good.
Yeah. How's everyone doing today?
Good. Welcome in.
Good.
Amazing. I'm excited to be here, guys. Thank you for having me.
You got
Thank you
it.
for
So
joining us.
Mina is also very well known in the industry too. He's called the Egyptian.
Prescription.
Prescription.
Why is that?
Herman.
What do you prescribe, doctor?
I prescribe pain when I fight, in the ring.
So he's an MMA, right? You're an MMA mixed martial
MMA
arts
fighter,
fighter.
yeah.
That's really cool. And you're joining us for where are you at today? LA? You still in LA?
Yeah, beautiful LA. I'm here for a while, and then the conferences start, Surge and Sell and Scale, and I think maybe I might do the Amazon one in Seattle. I'm not sure yet. I have to really see if the ROI is going to be there or not.
Yeah, so you're saying Sell and Scale is the one coming up in September next month by Helium 10. And then I think a week before that, there's a. So if you guys are watching this right now, there's an Amazon event coming up. It's called Amazon Accelerate. It's the first time they're going to do it in person, physically in Seattle in their home base, because in the past year or two, they did it online. So it's still going to be online. So you'll be able to join online if it's too far for you. But if you want to come into Seattle to Amazon's home court, Amazon Accelerate, we'll try maybe to drop a link so you guys can get a ticket. Do you want to do that, Augustus?
Yes, we will share the link.
I'll set it up for you guys. But yeah, Mina, tell us a little bit more about your journey in a nutshell into the game, Amazon game, where you at, how you help sellers. Give us I don't know, 2, 3, 4 minutes.
2
So
minutes.
you get some airtime. Go ahead.
Perfect. Let's keep it quick. But basically, I was working 9 to 5. I got my bachelor's and master's in chemical engineering and industrial engineering, and so I did the whole worked up the corporate ladder. I was not happy with what my life was looking like, and I felt like I kept moving from one job to the next, and there was no improvement. So I decided to create a supplement brand, something different, right? I just wanted to see if it could work. I wasn't able to make it sell in the gyms and in the stores. I was going door to door and kept getting rejected. And I was buying all of my stuff on Amazon. So I was like, let me just try and get it on Amazon. I was able to get it on Amazon and then became completely obsessed with how to make everything work, how to sell things on Amazon. And so I figured it out. And the two things that I noticed was working really well for me was getting reviews on the listing, of course, and PPC. And so I went on this journey of trying to figure out exactly how PPC worked, and I was asking everyone. I asked people in conferences. I asked the people from Amazon, in Seattle, and I sucked all the information. I kept split testing everything on my own stuff. I started figuring things out, and then in the Facebook groups that I was getting all the information from, I started sharing, and then very quickly, my name became known for being a guy who knows a lot about PPC. And I was only sharing my experience. I wasn't sharing this is what you should do. This is just what I did and what happened. And then, shared my story on a lot of podcasts. In 2020, COVID hit. I was sitting at home bored. I was like, I might as well give more value to the community. So I did 50 or 60 podcasts that year. And because of how much, how much people knew me from the podcast, someone reached out, said, I know an aggregator, and they are looking for someone to train their team on PPC. They're a big aggregator. They raised a lot of money, and they're looking for training. I said, cool, no problem. I'll train their team. And they said, we want to test you first on one of our brands. So they tested me on one of their brands. And 4 months later, they said, we were testing 6 other agencies. They showed me the spreadsheet and they said, this is your, percent increase in ROAS and blah, 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 all this stuff. And they said, you basically beat them all and we want to give you this proposal. Go train the team. I trained the team, and then I realized that I'm really, really good at running ads and doing PPC. And maybe I should be doing more of that than having my own, supplement brand, because I'm 10 times better at that than at having a supplement brand. So I decided, let's try it out. And since 2021, we've grown from a team of 3 to a team of 35 people now. Our revenue's grown over 500%.
When you say ours, what do you mean? In other words, you find that your core competency and strength is with the whole world and game of PPC, right?
Yeah,
so it's very, very empiric, very data driven, very mathematical, and you see all these results and all this impact. So you took all this ability, you packaged into an organization. And what do you call that organization?
Trivium Group. So Trivium Group is basically a partial advertising team. So instead of just paying for a service, for example, instead of paying someone to build a website for you, you're paying for a developer and a project manager and a copywriter and a creative person and all of this stuff. And it's the same thing. You're paying for a senior consultant, a head of advertising, an operations manager, a PPC strategist that does all of the dirty work every day, and an analyst that documents the data, presents to you the data in a very clear, digestible way. You get the entire division, but part-time, because no one with one brand wants to hire a team of 5 or 6 people. So that's what I do. I build the team. I train everyone. We have the best systems. I'm constantly innovating, giving them new technology, giving them more knowledge, creating more SOPs, and then they learn and get all of that. And then work part-time for like 6 different clients. Each division works like with like 6 or 7 different clients. But that's pretty much it. My goal is to help as many sellers with the advertising side. I used to think that advertising was very complicated, and I always wanted to hire it out. But then when I hired it out, and it destroyed me, and I was like spending so much money, and I lost so much money. And then I decided to kind of like really get good at it. And so I don't want that to ever happen to anyone else. So I've been out with Orange Click, we've shared information with Getida at conferences. So I'm giving all of my knowledge away, and I tell everyone, like, I don't sell any knowledge. I don't have any secrets in the agency. We just sell the execution. We have an incredible team of very smart people, very efficient. They execute. But if you want to do it yourself, I have resources that can show you exactly how to do everything yourself. I'm always sending people like papers and videos and my sheets, my analytics sheet, everything.
That's your tools, your setup, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, if you can do it yourself, do it yourself. But if you're ready to become a CEO and then give this off to someone else so you can be the CEO and build the business, not be in the business, then that's the time to hire us.
Yeah, these are kind of the elements we touched earlier, guys, with that. I think was part 2, how to scale your business, how to make more profit. So Trivium, Mina and his leadership can definitely help you scale on that regard and have somebody really focused on the execution religiously. I would say, Mina is a religious man and he's involved with church, but he's also very religious about PPC. He's very passionate about it. So I do highly recommend checking that out and see if it makes sense for you guys. Okay, thank you so much, Mina, by the way, for taking the time today and joining us. And now I think we can bring the other guest, right? At least one of the Kevins.
We say bye to Mina.
No, he sticks around.
Keep him.
This is a party.
Keep him around.
Okay.
Party, yeah.
I hope
keep
we'll
Mina
fit.
around.
Unless Mina needs to leave. He's a busy CEO.
Good,
Hold on.
I have you guys in my calendar. We're good to go.
Okay,
Hey,
next one is
real quick,
Kevin.
Augustus. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
I got a big shout out to Mina because my job as CMO Gatida was because of Mina pushing me to go over to Yoni and talk to him. So thank you, Mina, for doing that.
My pleasure. I'm so happy everything is working out.
Thank God.
All right. The next guest is Kevin Sanderson. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
I don't
made
unmute
it.
my
You
mic.
made it.
Hello, everyone.
So I guess the agenda is that you introduce yourself, what you do, and then you just share your experience about Getida, right? We don't have any video, unfortunately.
Yeah, no video for Kevin because he's gonna do it himself. So Kevin, real quick, hey, first of all, thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
It's a pleasure.
I think it's the first time I see you outside the warehouse when you have those boxes, the Amazon boxes behind you.
Yes.
So that is refreshing. It was worth it just for that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of hiding right now in guest bedroom because part of our house doesn't have AC, and my son has a friend over. So
and you're in Florida.
Smaller children. So
yeah, and you're in Florida, which is air conditioner is like a human right, right?
Pretty much.
It's a necessity.
So it's a very much a necessity. So I'm just kind of hiding here. So yeah, so I just going back in time was climbing the corporate ladder. I worked at a magical place in Orlando. Started off as a restaurant manager there. Then I was basically operating events, and I left there and went to a large convention hotel nearby, and did a variety of jobs there over the years. And then just one day, out of the blue, we were acquired by another company, by a larger hotel company, and that larger hotel company didn't have my level in their corporate structure. And so I was essentially asked to walk the plank. Good people, no animosity around any of that. I totally understand the decision that they had to make. You know, sometimes people are faced with decisions that they have to make. And I decided at that point, instead of looking for other jobs within that company, I was going to take the opportunity to go work for a buddy of mine here in South Florida, which is how I ended up in South Florida area, doing training and recruiting for insurance agents. And I got to a point where they were doing really well. And I was like, if I'm going to work this hard, I might as well be working for myself. And so I just kind of started listening to podcasts, and I stumbled on a podcast. At the time it was called the Amazing Seller Podcast by Scott Volker. He's still a podcaster, but he's changed his format. But at the time he was talking about how to sell on Amazon. And I was like, well, this sounds interesting. So Dabbled a little bit in retail arbitrage, and then, which was about 7 years ago as we speak. In fact, I think my first sale on Amazon was almost exactly 7 years ago as we
Mazel
do
tov.
this.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you. And it was like some stuff I had bought on clearance at Walgreens, and I quickly realized this is too much work trying to find clearance stuff at Walgreens and Walmart. So I was like, the retail arbitrage model is not for me. It is for some people, but definitely not for me. So at the time, I was a high school football official, and I decided to take a season's worth of earnings. So that fall coming up, I took what I made chasing 17-year-olds around with a yellow flag and a whistle, and I invested that into my first product. Then as time went on, I invested more where I could and reinvested into that business. Left my job about 3 years after that of having my own brand. And then from there have been an entrepreneur on my own ever since.
So you spread your wings and gain this, financial independence and freedom with being an e-commerce Amazon seller. So that's amazing. You do use Getida, right? So if you want to share a little bit about that,
yes,
over the years, it'll be nice. But also beyond that, I know you focus on the selling, but what do you also focus on in terms of helping the seller community, education, content, consulting, things of that nature? Go ahead, share with us.
Yeah, so a few things to kind of weave into there. So multi-part question. So I've been using Getida in my own business for about 2 years now. And I think for people, if you're looking to offload something, it's better to have something where you aren't on the hook necessarily for, an hourly rate or something. So Getida is one of those where, yes, there are software tools that can, download, reports and tell you, hey, here's reimbursements that you're due, but it's never going to have the same level of a person who's going to have the touch of going in and looking at it and finding things that the software tool probably can't. And I have found my reimbursements increase since using Getida, and everyone I've talked to has said the same thing. So it's definitely been a good thing for everyone who I've recommended to use Getida, the feedback I've gotten. So kudos to Getida and everything you guys have built for being able to find the reimbursements and stuff. And it's all terms of service, legit stuff. So it's and you only have to pay for what you use. And so it's the one bill that I kind of hope is actually a little bit bigger than
those bills, you hope to get, because it means you made money. So
if the bill's a little bit bigger, I have to remind myself, well, that means I got more money from the reimbursement.
That's good news, right?
Exactly. So it is a very good return on investment.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So talk to us a little bit more about the education you put out there, events maybe they're coming up, and also what other things you do to help the community.
So along the way, one of the things I think we all find in this world is that we're not necessarily around other entrepreneurs, other people who are in the e-commerce space. We're surrounded by people that, even if we are full-time sellers ourselves, chances are we're not surrounded by full-time sellers. So like when I was in insurance, I was surrounded by people in insurance. When I was in, hotels or theme parks, I was surrounded by people that, did that all the time. And so it can be hard finding other people in the in this space. And so some of it is trying to make it real. And so I started attending events. Shout out to Steve Chu and Tony Anderson of Seller Summit, which happens in May. That's a great event. And I started noticing when I would go to events, things would go pretty well for me. Like it's one thing listening to it on a podcast, another thing hearing someone in person, or all of a sudden like wait, people are actually doing this, type of thing. So getting around other people in person as much as possible, I think is a good thing. So as time went on, I started getting more questions from people in my just regular life of explain this to me. And they want to jump on a call and, talk about and most of these people never ended up doing anything. It was just, I think, curiosity, which I get. Because it's not something you hear a lot of people talk about. So I started documenting some of what I was doing on YouTube. And then as time went on, I ended up creating a podcast and interviewing a lot of great people. So podcast and YouTube channels, both called Maximizing E-commerce. And then having a background in events and a background in training, I was like, why don't I kind of melt the two? And I started creating virtual events, kind of like what Augustus does. and I started that about 2 years ago. So I brought on, a lot of really smart people. Mina, actually, we just recorded his presentation the other day for upcoming summit. Rob actually recorded a presentation as well for our upcoming summit, and Gatida is a sponsor as well. So thank you to you for all that you do to sponsor the community and help folks out there in this world.
All right, thank you so much, Kevin. Yeah, go ahead.
I
Kevin.
wanted to inform that you will find the link below to Kevin's Brand Mastery Summit, which is coming up in like 2-3 weeks. In 2 weeks.
Yeah,
about less than 2 weeks. Yeah,
less than 2 weeks. So we'll put it in description as well. And,
thank you.
It's worth it. Right. It's worth it because my presentation alone is worth it because people have paid me so much money to teach them what I taught at that presentation. So it's what is it, Kevin? $7.
$7 to attend.
It should be $9. It should be $9 after inflation, gas prices.
I'm fighting inflation. Inflation.
Kevin is keeping it at $7. You guys, if you buy a Starbucks and you don't get this, then I don't know. Don't talk to me about wanting to be a business owner.
Yeah, I heard an update. I heard an update that 50 cents said he announced on Twitter or something that because of inflation, he has to update his name from 50 cents to 83 cents. So keep that in mind.
Augustus, you know that I did that presentation for you on YouTube, and I'm always updating that. And I dropped a new one with Kevin, and I have done maybe 4 or 5 of these. And a lot of people don't know I have this background in YouTube and helping Amazon sellers learn how to use YouTube.
Actually,
yeah. So there's a new one coming up on there. So besides Mina's being an awesome one, check out mine also.
Mm-hmm. You can learn a lot from just really smart people that we've brought on. So I'm definitely blessed to have speakers like yourselves on these summits.
All right, let's move on to the few more testimonials because we have.
All right, so let's bring out the second guest here. Let's see if we can bring out Sumner real quick. Go ahead. Do you have Sumner?
Okay, Sumner. Well, we don't have him real, but we have a video.
Yeah. Whatever.
Hey, my name's Sumner Hobart. My wife and I are 7-figure Amazon sellers, and Getida is one of our favorite Amazon services for 3 reasons. So number 1, Getida has found thousands of dollars for us that we would have not even known about or lost due to Amazon logistics issues. So what a lot of Amazon sellers don't know is that when you let Amazon handle your inventory, mistakes are bound to happen. Some of your inventory is going to get lost or damaged, anywhere from 1% to 3% on average, and you have rights to reimbursements for this lost and damaged inventory. And what Getida does is they will go into your Amazon account, they will look at the total amount of reimbursements that are due to you. They'll do this for free. So they'll show you the total amount of reimbursements, and then you only pay them a cut of the reimbursements they find. So you only pay when you get results, which is reason number 2 why I love Getida so much. And then number 3, from our own personal experience of trying to do reimbursements ourselves with Amazon, looking at other tools or services, this is all Getida does. This is their bread and butter, and they are very good at it. They're able to find reimbursements that myself and our team are not able to find, which is really impressive. So they'll find more reimbursements. You only pay them when you get results, and you will get results, which is kind of crazy to see how much of your inventory is destroyed or lost by Amazon. But you definitely want to get that money back. Otherwise, it's lost. So definitely sign up for a free account with Getida. Can't recommend them enough.
Is it paid testimonial? Do you pay these people, Yoni and Rob?
No, he's one of the sweetest people.
He didn't pay me.
Yeah, so
well, they paid you to tell me that.
What happened was I saw their ad and I said, Yoni, bro, I've been seeing your ads for years now. It's so bad. Let me make you one that's more in line with 2022. And that's why it's Yoni supports me so much. So I was like, maybe this is the smallest thing I can do to support him.
Hey, we just brought somebody on board that's handling all the new ads just a couple of weeks ago. So
great.
They're getting better.
So hold on, I just want to mention that the background you saw with Sumner, if you don't, we're here in the summertime, but he was wearing like this big jacket, is because he's under the equator. He's in Chile or Chile.
Wow, I was wondering.
Yeah, he's in South America. Him and his wife. His wife is. What is it? Leah, Sumner, and Ali. Yeah, so Ali. So she's really sweet. She's originally from Brazil. I'm not sure how they met, but they met and they're married and they're just traveling the world, managing their 7-figure Amazon business. This is a YouTube channel. One of the coolest people in the industry, in the game. Really sweet, really nice, really inspirational. So yeah, check out the channel, check out their content. I'm sure you'll like it and enjoy it. All right, let's bring the king out. Let's bring out the king.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? Kevin King here, the host of the AM PM podcast. Also, I'm the lead trainer in the Freedom Ticket course for Helium 10. Also, the organizer of the $1 Billion Seller Summit in Austin, Texas. And we also do one virtually once a year as well. I just want to jump on here really quick and say something about Getida. You know, these guys are some of the most honorable, the best guys in the business. They're very supportive of everybody that's out there, both sellers and other service providers. They are someone that if you haven't given them a try, give them a try. With some of my companies, they've gotten thousands of dollars back for me in a matter of minutes almost sometimes. I know people that they've gotten tens of thousands, and even somebody that has gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars back from lost items at Amazon, missing things, reimbursements that weren't returned, just a whole litany of stuff that they can cover. You know, there's a lot of tools out there that do some of this automatically in some ways, and they have some like VAs and stuff doing it, and they can catch some of the stuff, but Getida catches pretty much everything. So if you really want to be totally thorough, or even if you use one of these other tools, like, you know, some people use Helium 10, which is a great tool to use, and use their Refund Genie tool to get what you can back for free, doing it yourself, and then take it over to Getida and watch what they can do and how much more juice they can squeeze out of that orange. They're just some really good guys, and so I can't recommend them enough. They've been a sponsor of the $1 Billion Seller Summit since the very first one in 2019. They've already signed up to be a top-level sponsor for next year, and next year's not even here yet. So I can't recommend them enough. So if you haven't given Getida a try, give them a try, and hopefully you can come out and meet them at the $1 Billion Seller Summit coming up in August 14th to the 18th in Austin. Or if you can't make it to that, check out the replay option online and catch the replay. And you'll see Getida's actually presentation where they do a really cool little trivia presentation. They usually give away a nice chunk of change to the winner of that competition. It's always a lot of fun. So have a really good rest of the webinar, and we'll hopefully see you soon.
Yes, and I wanted
how
to
he
actually
says-
mention that we still have one giveaway, which we'll do very, very soon. And you wanted to comment something about Kevin's message?
Yeah, it was funny. He said squeeze the orange. So that
Yeah,
was funny.
that was my next move. Yeah, I think instead
Kevin's
of calling
great.
it Orange Clink, you need to call it Orange Squeeze. Okay,
Orange squeeze.
Orange
Squeeze
Squeeze
the orange.
when Getida's around. So yeah, so that's
I do
Kevin.
want to mention real quick, Kevin mentioned about Helium 10 and their tool. We are partners with Helium 10. You can find us on their partner page. We work right along with their tool. And just so you know that, you know, we definitely work hand in hand with a lot of different partners, including Helium 10 and their Refund Genie tool.
Yeah, so thanks a lot for these testimonials. And shall we say goodbye to Kevin and Mina?
Yeah, guys, thank you so
Yep.
much. We'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.
Much love,
Thank
much
you.
appreciated.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And so we have few more things to do. We have another giveaway of 1,000 FBA reimbursements from Getida. We have still about 10 questions to answer. And let's make a 15-second break. Which break do we do? Let's do the moon break.
Set me on fire. Resist me, keep taking you, let me on
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's too short. I cannot drink my water.
I'll take over, Augustus. You're good. Take a sip. So yeah, be sure to head on over to Getida.com/Klik, Klik. Get that $400 in free FBA reimbursements, and hit the like and subscribe. Definitely hit that like and subscribe. There you go. There it is. Getida.com/Klik to get that $400. All right, Augustus.
Perfect. Thank you.
Alrighty, so let's go back to business, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of the live testimonial and recording testimonials with some of these cool, awesome people and industry leaders. Now, yeah, let's touch the slide of a little bit of a recap of, kind of Getida versus other options. Of course, other options are really good. We recommend them all, but let's touch a few points that might kind of highlight some differences. So Getida, really, to make sense of it, we're really a highly specialized service. We're not a software, we're not a tool, we're a solution. As a solution provider service, we use technology internally for our needs, and we use a dedicated team to service you and provide. At the end of the day, we provide you a solution. The solution is maximum refunds or maximum FBA refunds that you're eligible to receive. That is the mission. That is the goal. We do encourage you to do as much as you can on your own, yourself or another provider. It's all good, but whatever we're missing out, we'll be able to come in and grab it out. So it means that we're very customizable. It doesn't have to be us or you. It can always be together. That's why it's because we're very, very specialized. Okay. Another point to mention is we have ex-Amazonians processing reimbursement claims. In other words, a big part of our team are former Amazon employees who used to work in those departments, the FBA reimbursements departments. So we know what we're looking for, how to present the issues, how to manage all the back and forth, and get you that proper resolution with maximum impact. Okay, that connects also to the specialty. High level, we process over 30 types of reimbursement claims or issues. So if you know one or two, because we touched it today in this event, maybe we showed everything, but we showed you 5 or 6 main ones, but that everything still lives more than 20 issues that needs to take care of, and we do that. We go all the way deep for you to get you the maximum. We conduct the audits daily. Sellers struggle with time. They have 90 days to take care of something. They can't do it, or 6 months, whatever the time limit is. You just can't seem to figure it out because it's always something to do. Okay, but we audit and take care of the accounts daily, so you get kind of maximum impact as soon as possible with no delay and maximum focus. Also, we provide you with international coverage. So if you're selling the US, Canada, Mexico, UK, Europe, we got you. Okay, so if you ever plan to expand, we got you. So we provide you with the global support. We're available in the Amazon App Store. Okay, which means we're an authorized solution provider by Amazon. So if you visit Amazon Sell Essential and you put the App Store and you put Getida, you're gonna find us there. Okay, so that means we're authorized by Amazon. It means we have 2 commitments. We have a commitment to you, the seller, but also a commitment to Amazon to make sure that we're terms of service compliant, data security, private policy. We got to perform on the highest level. Okay, some other providers might not be authorized or not be not bound to any standards of any kind. So it's a general tip for you guys anyways. If any kind of software solution you want to get for Amazon business, if you're not sure who they are, visit the Amazon App Store and Sell Essential and see if they're there. If they're there, it's really a good indicator because they're committed to Amazon's rules and policies, which is really helpful. In addition to the App Store, we're also available in the Amazon Seller Essential Partner Network. Okay, so we're partnered with Amazon. With that in mind, we do invite you to attend Amazon Accelerate, which is going to be next month in September in Seattle. We're going to be sponsored there as well. I'll be happy to see you there physically or digitally. All right, so other options. Like I said, non-specialized, they kind of do reimbursements. They do it as an add-on. They do many, many other things. So it's not really their core focus, which is okay. They get you some things back, some money back, but not really the maximum impact. FBA refunds are an upsold feature. In other words, they kind of provide all these things. They might do advertising, they might do repricing, they might do all these kind of bundle of things, and also kind of reimbursement. So just to sell you with another something. That's kind of the reason why refunds and reimbursements are there, which is okay. They might get some money back, but once again, you miss out on that maximum impact. Also, these kind of solutions, they handle low hanging fruit, the simple stuff, not the complicated stuff, because complication requires focus, attention, time, and energy, and that's money. That's expensive, and they're not gonna do it, and that understandable why. They're just gonna do the easy stuff, and the rest, if they don't catch it, it's on you. It's not on them. They don't take open cases across the finish line, meaning sometimes the other providers, because it's an add-on, they don't really specialize in it. They'll open cases, and if they get paid, great. If they don't get paid, it is what it is. But these cases that don't get paid is because they require attention. Amazon will reply and say, we need more information or we need documentation. So you need to take care of that. And if you take care of that, you bring it all the way to the finish line and you get reimbursements. That's our commitment. In other words, we review the cases, we reply to them, we manage them, we take them all the way to the finish line so you get the maximum impact. We don't just open it, and if it works, great. If it doesn't work, we're done. That's kind of it's not the approach that you get. You see others might have like a subscription. You pay some sort of a monthly subscription fee, and if they get you money, great. If they don't get you money, great. If they don't get you, you still pay a subscription. We don't have that kind of model, so it's much more convenient. Like I said earlier, it might not be authorized by Amazon. They're not using API. You don't know where they're storing the data, how they're handling the data, what they do with the data. They might be Amazon sellers themselves. Like, we don't sell on Amazon. Let's keep full transparency, disclosure. We don't sell on Amazon. Our focus really help Amazon sellers. Some other providers out there, they're really nice, really good, but some of them also kind of sell on Amazon. So what comes first, selling on Amazon or helping you and then selling on Amazon? Sometimes there's those conflicts, which is okay, but it's up to you guys to decide what kind of focus level you want on getting your refunds. And others, it can be just a tool. There's no case management, meaning they provide you the data, but you have to hire somebody or have somebody in your team opening cases, managing all the back and forth because you have a tool. Once again, it's good. We recommend using those tools, but you don't get the maximum impact or the maximum attention that might be needed to get all the maximum refunds. So that's kind of in a nutshell, kind of the Getida option and versus the other options. That's high level on that. So any questions on that, feel free to kind of reach out. I do want to mention that we do prepare a package of free tools for you guys to consider, just to make it fun. You can just visit getida.com/ebook or just scan this code. You'll get a package of 3 things: an ebook about how to read an Amazon income statement, which means all the money is coming in and all the money is coming out. Where is it all going? So you should know the numbers. If you don't want to know the numbers, make sure your bookkeeper or your accountant knows the numbers so you can really understand if you're making money, losing money. You can do the tax return and everything. Another second thing is you get a profit and loss template, so you can use it once again to know if you made money or lost money. And also you get a template for winning dimensions. You can track the winning dimensions. So if you ever need to file claims, you'll be able to do so. So just visit this page. And yep, so now we're really at the last stage. That was the end of part 3. We did live testimonials and we brought some friends and we compared. But yeah, go ahead.
Now it's time for the last I determine the last winner of the active people in the live stream who were asking questions. So let me share the screen. We have about 23 questions which are still qualifying. We of course removed the previous winners, Sunny Girl and Antonio. So I'm copying all the names. I'm going to wheel of names. I'm copy paste all of them. So if you asked several times, you have a chance, double chance, triple chance. So let's spin the wheel. And the winner is Daniela Serban.
Daniela.
Hi, Daniela.
Serban. Nice.
So,
congratulations.
Yeah. Please contact support at getida.com. I hope you are still listening our live stream. If not, you missed the chance. All right, and if you are existing customer, you will be matched $1,000 reimbursement, up to 1,000. And if you are not existing customer, if you are a seller and you want to join Getida's service, you will get $400 for free. And as Rob said earlier, everybody is a winner. They can get $400 reimbursements if they use the link below, and you get $400 for free. All right, so we are now ready for the
last stretch. Let's bring it out. Yeah, this is a reminder.
Stretch.
Yeah, so once again, if it wasn't clear enough, I don't think we mentioned this, right? If you just visit getida.com/Klik, Klik, you'll get $400 in free reimbursements. Pretty simple. It means that you're gonna have $400 extra in your pocket just from trying us out. After $400, if you want to leave us, you can leave. If you want to stay, you can stay. But that's a kind of a little bit of a gift from us to you. So in case you didn't win anything today, at least you can win $400. So hopefully this is helpful. We got Lizette coming back in. So what's up, Lizette?
So we do have more questions for you, to everyone. So yeah, let's start with the first one from Jamie then. Who or what can you recommend as a second set of eyes to look at our store and help us discover places where we can save on fees, besides Getida, of course?
Okay, so let me think about this question. Second set of eyes to look at our store. I will assume Amazon account to help us discover places we can save on fees. Maybe the question more like kind of what kind of strategies or consulting strategies you get to save on fees, because we kind of address the world of FBA fees, but of course you got the fees, not the fees, costs, right? There's all these costs involved on managing Amazon business. Of course you got the PPC, the advertising. So we mentioned a few agencies earlier, so you feel free to check those out or check out the content Mina is putting out there to help you devise strategies and use ways that you can advertise efficiently, save a lot of that cost and make more profit. Of course, things to consider in saving costs beyond FBA is, of course, sourcing, factories, materials that you're using. There's inflation going on. You have global logistics, you have container logistics that the prices got really high up. Hopefully now they're cooling down. So always shop for those. Yeah, anything of that nature in terms of all the production and sourcing, the team that you're using, the cost structure of the team. If you're hiring them domestically or internationally, there's pros and cons for that, but there's definitely ability to save money. If you, I just want a small illustration. You can hire somebody here in the United States, maybe pay them, just saying a number, let's say 100,000 a year, right, for that position. But you might find out that overseas, you might find somebody that will cost you 25,000 a year. So obviously, and they could do the same thing, but not only could do the same thing, they actually have more experience in what you need them to do, much more specialized. So they're gonna get you much more impact. So you pay them 4 times less, but may get double impact because the talent is global these days. Think globally. Where can you go around the world and get talent to help your business around the world? Because you'll be surprised how much talent and more experience there is around the world than necessarily domestically here in the U.S. or Europe, where help and labor can be more expensive. So think about that because there's so much back end support. I can't even stress enough how much the Philippines, Pakistan, and India have helped the Amazon global community. I can't even say it in words. It's just billions and billions of dollars because they are just in the game. They're just so experienced. It's so diverse in what's going on, and they can provide you with real value. So beyond Getida, keep those elements in mind. See if we can reduce your costs, and because of that, make more profit. So hopefully that kind of help you with this.
I want to add something to that, Yoni, real quick. Usually you're going to be the one that knows best your numbers. So what Yoni and what we've even covered even earlier is, looking at opportunities to maybe outsource or find services to take over some of the other things so you can concentrate on your numbers, on your PPC. Even though Mina is also great. And then there's also Orange Klik. I mean, Orange Klik does a lot of great videos, a lot of great content. You can go to their channel and maybe find a video that they've done with somebody or a service that's available out there. But really, you're probably the one that knows your numbers the best. So maybe take a look at, outsourcing those areas maybe you're not as proficient at. So you can look at your own internal numbers and internal systems going on. I ran my own e-commerce for 20 plus years. I did that all the time. I always knew what my numbers were every day, every month, every year. Where could we, adjust things? But things I wasn't good at, accounting, for instance, I outsourced that. So that might be a suggestion there on that too.
Okay, good. Jamie has another question more. So would Amazon ever challenge the category you choose to list your item in for fee savings as you discussed earlier?
No, as long as it's true and honest, no issues. If you're trying to hack the system, so you're trying to list a jewelry item, which is typically selling fee is 20%, you're trying to put it on electronics, which is 8%, they're going to have an issue with that. So that's a small example. Right? Okay. EYTAN's here. Hooray!
Agreed.
How are you doing,
Good. Sorry, I was in and out, but someone has to run the company while the webinar is going on.
Of course, we all understand. Yeah, we're going through some of the questions. Our awesome viewers have left because the workshop so far has been going very well. Everybody has very interesting questions and are staying here with us. So let's take another question from Daniela. You mentioned that Getida is checking daily for the FBA returns, refunds, reimbursements. Is this done also for the shipments, reconciliation, and other types of audits?
EYTAN, you want to take that?
Yes. We have two types of audit. We have a general audit where we audit discrepancies for lost warehouse transaction, damage, destroyed, and the like. And then we also have a separate component where we audit inbound shipments, so shipment reconciliation. So there's certain things that sellers could do on their own end in the Amazon backend, which I encourage you to do to find the discrepancies, but we actually go deeper, open every shipment, make sure everything's reconciled. And I think as Yoni mentioned, we have a portal where you can go in and see what documents we need. So for certain shipments, in order to make a claim, you need proof of delivery or proof of purchase, but it's a little confusing to know how and what and where. So we help do that, and we use as much of your data that we can as possible, but often we'll ask you to provide us information, which you can in the portal, or to create a packing slip, which you can in the portal. So those are the two different things. The first is like very passive. You connect, you give us a user, we do our thing. The second's a little more responsive because we need data, right? We can't file claims without your expert or confirmed information. But we try to make it as seamless as possible where you can give that to us so we can help you.
Okay, thank you. So Sunny Girl is asking, on average, how much time would I need to allot for labor each week to someone working with or providing data to Getida or to manage the app, and the person has 5 SKUs on Amazon?
I'll take that one. That's an easy one. Very little. Very little. It depends how many shipments you have. So as I just said, the main bulk of the quote unquote work is just giving us information. If you ship with Amazon Partner Carrier, we already have your shipping information. If you don't, you'll need to provide us shipping information and the packing slip or an invoice. If you have that organized, and you probably do, if you only have 5 SKUs, I would say 5 to 10 minutes a week, assuming there are discrepancies. If you're a bigger seller with more SKUs and more data, perhaps more, but really not that much time. And that's the point of that's the value of what we do.
Okay, and there's a connected question from Julia. So what's the best thing for me to do regularly to get the most from using Getida?
Same thing, to go into the inbound portal and to make sure we have all the documents that we need from you, and to go into the pick and pack dimensional component of the portal to upload your weights and your length, width, height, volume. This way we have your information to open claims. The rest, you don't really need to do anything regularly. You just have to respond to when we ask for stuff, either in the portal or via email. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay, sounds really easy. So Johnny is asking, how do you deal with inbound shipment where Amazon received less and no longer accepts any more research or even an invoice?
Yoni, maybe you want to touch on the invoice detail questions.
Yeah, so to be honest, in this kind of specific case, it seems very, very unusual. So we have to kind of look at the data points to see if anything here is off. Because it might be that they explain why, and there's a good reason why, and as per their terms and policies, you're just not eligible, and that's kind of like game over. But of course, we kind of review everything, and something here doesn't make sense, we're able to focus on that, present it to Amazon, say, hey, everything was done on time, all the data was provided properly, we opened the case on time, and just please review it again, or you can try to call it in, ask for leadership, explain it verbally, maybe ask for the captive team. That's typically the team that's in Seattle. Once again, the word is captive. The team in Seattle, the US based, maybe they can take a bit more leadership responsibility of trying to reconsider, understand what you're trying to tell them, why is it so important, or why they should kind of need to look into it. This is instead of just opening the case again with the same words and getting kind of semi-automatic responses where the same wording or responses, so you don't really get anywhere. So you got to try to break the mold in a way and try to get more traction and more attention to your concern.
Okay, so Joseph is asking, what if no longer, probably the person is not longer selling on Amazon. So the question is about recovering previous money about products that are not unsold.
Yeah, good question. So there are some people who no longer sell, and there are even some people whose accounts get suspended for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. But the good news is that even if you're not selling, we can still help you. So we can log in and get refunds. So whenever you're paid, which may be delayed depending on the level of the account, we could still get that money. So it's a good opportunity for people who closed out an account on purpose or for whatever reason. There's still money there. It's like another little treasure that you could still get even though you didn't think you could. So we have a lot of those cases where people have us kind of clean up an old account and bring back money that's really from the dead, which is cool. And usually not understood. So it's a great question. People they realize, oh, my account's done, I'm done. There's no way I can get the money. Yoni and I dealt with someone who we got a lot of money for that had no concept that this was even possible. It was very nice.
Yeah, just if I can chime in here. So here we talk about accounts, but I think in this question is more about the listing. So what's interesting is that, even if you had listings that you launched and you don't want to continue and they kind of failed, the cool news is that you can still find value. We're going to be able to go back and see if any of these units got lost, damaged, suffered from all these things, and all of a sudden flush you with refunds from those listings. And that cash that you get back out of nowhere, use that to fuel the listings that you're staying with, right? So you can invest more in PPC, more product launching, branding, whatever it is to fuel your business. That's what's really cool about it. So yeah, definitely if you're no longer selling the listing, we can still go back up to 18 months and recover money.
Yoni and EYTAN, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but also if there's a little bit of an exception, if you sold your company to an aggregator and they now have the account and you were the person that got purchased, you're not going to get that back. The money's going to come back.
The buyer will get the orange juice.
Yes,
and the orange is Klik.
We have a few more questions. It's a great. People are so much engaged. It's almost 4 hours. That's amazing workshop, I would say. And let's take few last questions. Joseph says, how safe our account is with Getida?
So yeah, it's a good question. So once again, when you are considering using solution providers for FBA auditing and reimbursements, so we really do take a lot of pride in the fact that we're authorized by Amazon. So like I said earlier, it means we have a commitment to you to make sure that we take care of you, but also a commitment to Amazon to make sure that we're terms of service compliant, data security, private policy, that all takes place. We got to perform on the highest level. Like I mentioned earlier, also a big part of our team are former Amazon employees. They used to work in those departments, so we know how to stay compliant throughout the whole step of the way. So the account security is the utmost importance to us, and we're fully committed to that. So I would say, yeah, it's pretty safe, or as safe as you can get.
All right, Antonio from Mexico wants to know, what about disposed units that were incorrectly disposed? Do you audit these cases too? I have hundreds of units that were disposed under sellable conditions.
Who wants to take that?
I'll take it.
Tough
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that's actually one of our claims. That's usually not done by most sellers or even really educated sellers. A lot of times Amazon will dispose it despite what you told them. So we actually audit that, meaning if there was no disposal request, but it was still disposed, we can get you a refund, most likely.
All right, perfect. And now Julia wants to know, how does Amazon and you handle measurements when each seller packs a product differently? I put some fragile things in a box versus another who bubble wraps it.
It's a great question. So let's talk about two types of inventory. There's like commingled inventory. So I don't know how some of the users may do that, where if you sell an iPod along with 9 other sellers, they commingle it in one bin, and you don't have to put your own sticker. But I recommend all sellers put their own FNSKU sticker. If you put your own FNSKU sticker, it's kind of like a unique item that's tied to you. Therefore, Amazon will measure it upon receipt for the first time. So they'll use this Cubiscan machine, this fancy machine they have that measures the length with height and weight. And then they'll know what your item measures. So you shouldn't really double up with what other people do. But as Yoni mentioned earlier, you have to check that whatever you believe and know the dimensions are is what Amazon has for you. That's really the concern, not how you stack up against other people. What do you have in your system versus what does Amazon have, and what are they charging you? That's really the trick over here.
Yeah, because just to add into that, eventually they're charging you the fee for the unit that they shipped, your unit that they shipped, so they need to have accountability for that. Other sellers can be a whole different ball game, so that's the issue. They can deal with Amazon independently. So just to help chime in on that.
Perfect. I think one of the last questions, again by Antonio. My automatic removal inventory is set up to be removed by me, but Amazon has been disposing units that were expired without letting me the chance to remove them. Do you audit this?
I think it's similar to the previous question, meaning they're disposing things that were not supposed to be disposing units that were expired. Well, let me be clear. You have to remove it by a certain point in time. If you don't, they could actually dispose it or destroy it. So if you're past that time, unfortunately, there's nothing you could do. But if you could prove, or we can show, which we can help with, that you weren't past that time, but they still disposed it, obviously that's an error. But if unfortunately you missed it, that's kind of tough luck, so they say. You have to really be on top of that. You could set reminders for it. You should have reports on that, because yeah, there's some sellers that just don't remove stuff and it gets destroyed because they just forgot to take care of it. That's as the team said today, that's why you really need help on some of these tasks, because you just forget one task, all of a sudden you lose a lot of money. It's unfortunate.
All right, I think that's it almost. Yeah, unless we forgot something. I see Angelito from Philippines. He was watching very late, I think. He says very valuable.
Yes.
Love the nuggets.
Yeah, it's almost 3 a.m. Good job, Angelito. Good job.
That's
Appreciate your time.
commitment for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's see, we have more coming up. No. All right, so yeah, that's it. So how do we end this? Yoni, do you have any ideas?
How do you end the wedding? Usually, how do you end it? You have the flowers to throw and somebody needs to catch it. How did you end? How does it all end?
You end it with a send off, usually of throwing rice or blowing bubbles or something.
Yeah, so let's try to
Streamers or,
throw some digital rice
sparklers.
here. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
let's remind one more time that you can get great service from Getida, the leaders in the industry, the people which don't do anything else, just reimbursements, and they have 128 team members right now in
Yep.
6 countries, and these team members making babies as well. Do you have
Yeah.
families working for you?
I just had a baby girl. Yeah, you know, he's joking around. But yeah, I do want to take the opportunity once again to thank the Orange Klik team, you, Augustus, Lisette. It's always a pleasure to work with you guys. To recap on this event, we have 4 parts. The first part, we really honed down on how to really understand what types of issues are the main issues they need to look for, and how to look for it, and how to manage it, how to deal with it. So hopefully by applying all this, you'll make money. Okay, you'll make real money. You'll go back 18 months and grab all this money and enjoy it, grow your business. The second part was some more strategy and tactics on how to, make more profit and really scale your business. The third part was, the dashboard demo. We have some friends from the industry showing you like how beautiful this industry all is. We're all in this together. It's all about education and networking. And with this regards, Orange Klik does an amazing job, and the YouTube channel and the events that they do and all the events that they report about, and I advise you to check out. And the fourth part was really all by you guys, the questions and answers. So this was great. I had a blast, I had a ball. I hope everybody else that joined us today as well. Really much love. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next journey, right?
Yeah, thank you, Yoni. Thank you, EYTAN. Thank you, Rob and Lisa. And thank you, Lisette.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.
And again, I would like to remind that you can find the link below to join Getida's service and get $400 reimbursement. And now I would like to invite you to watch other video with Yoni, where Yoni explains 5 reasons to sell and invest in your Amazon business.